Mm-hmm.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another awesome episode of the panel. Y'all seen what happened last night. We're gonna talk about every game that happened last night. We obviously gonna get to the standings because y'all know playoffs is right around the corner. So right now is a pivotal time in the NBA, especially with the standings. There was a lot of shuffling and stuff like that. Y'all see the top of the show. Lakers, NBA championship. It's looking like peanut butter and jelly right now. It's looking like they're going together. The Lakers are the hottest team in the NBA right now. Currently, Swiper, they are. You can't lie with the results. You can't. So we're going to talk about the Lakers and what they're going to look like going into the playoffs. But as of right now, I got to ask my squad because we're going into a very pivotal time in the NBA right now. Things are up. Yo, Swiper, you in cook mode or cap mode right now? Which one? You cooking or capping today?
I'm always cooking. You see me getting ready for Ox. I got my clean eats. I was in the gym. I'm going to be in the gym later. Feel me, Ox? So get your little cankles ready, brother.
All right. You got your Ox box right there?
Mm-hmm. Ox box. I got my bag over here. I'm locked in. You too, chill. I want to hear this Tatum nonsense from you today.
All right. Yo, Ox,
there is muscle mass over here, sir. So don't concern yourself with this. Yes, absolutely. There is muscle mass over here, and yes, this dude over here stays in shape. Yes,
you about 175, about 175, absolutely, something along those lines.
No, I'm between 215 and 220.
That's a good weight. And you 49?
51.
Look, that's about what I want to be probably when I get to be about that. I'm like 250 right now, but I think by the time I get to, older or upper 40s and all that, that's definitely going to be
around
for sure.
It was around my playing weight when I was in school. It was I played at around between 210 and 215, so I'm around that. So I want to talk to Ox. So Ox, where you at this morning, brother? You good? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, you in big Ox mode or low Ox mode? Which one?
I don't know. I want to check my man temperature this morning. My man. I know my man. I want to put it out there. I know my man, and he don't really seem that something don't seem correct this morning. Yeah, hey, big fella, what's going on? We can talk about it. It's okay.
I'm gonna start by saying, Ron, ain't nothing in this world. Nothing or nobody could ever put me in a little any mode. You know what I'm saying? Nothing little about nothing. Feel me? But I do want to say this. I'm not in the mood. I don't even want to play with y'all today. I'm gonna just sit back. We'll get into it, man. I'm not happy. Y'all know why I'm not happy. And, you know what I'm saying? I don't. The worst part about it, I don't got no control of it. I can't do nothing about it. But hey, I'm here. I'm happy to be here though, y'all. What's going on, man? Let's talk about these Lakers, man.
Is it one of those like I got to go to school today? I really don't want to take this test. This test sucks. I'm prepared for it, but I really don't want to do it. Is that what I'm dealing with right now with you, Ox?
Nah, man, it's nothing like that, shit. Because I'll go take the test, no problem. I'm a great test taker. You know what I'm saying? I might not have did the homework, but I'm gonna get a B+ on this test for sure. So I'm not too worried about it.
But you just say like when it's time to get down to business, you handle business.
All right, you know what time it is with me, man. I'm just very upset right now. I'm very disappointed right now.
Okay, so you on edge right now?
Yeah, I'm not even on edge. I'm sad, bro. I'm sad.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying I'm gonna keep it real. I don't got nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? I don't got nothing to hide. I'm a man. I can tell the truth.
Family.
I feel family, right? My eyes was welling up. I almost cried myself to sleep last night.
What am I missing
upset
on?
Right now, man.
Why are you so sad? What am I missing on?
What do you think we're talking about, Swiper? What happened last night on prime time last night?
Damn, Swiper, you being insensitive?
On
I'm asking. I'm trying to figure out the context.
On TNT last night in prime time, the Knicks kind of like whip the belt off. You know how when your father takes the belt off, and yeah, that's what the Knicks did last night.
I can't believe this. I just can't believe this shit, man. As soon as Trey Lyles comes back, Malik goes out.
It's tough.
Which you've been talking about. You've been talking about getting Trey Lyles back.
And you can see the difference when Trey Lyles comes back. Like there's a clear difference when Trey Lyles is there. Trey Lyles is but this ain't about us though. We're talking about the Lakers, man. I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna go get some,
well, cool. The thing about it is, I want to talk about these games because there was a lot of good games last night. And then we're gonna get into the standings. We gotta wait for our special Lakers analyst to get on the show before we talk about the Lakers.
Right.
So we got some time. Shout out to Damo. But as of right now, I got a couple super chats. But before I get to those in the games, I got a little segment I want to do with you guys called, well, it's very simple. Facts or cap? All right, so I'm going to ask you guys some questions, and you let me know whether you believe it's facts or whether you believe it's cap. It's easy, right, chat? Real easy. And chat, y'all participate too. Drop the facts or drop the cap.
Except for Alan L. You don't participate, bro.
Yeah.
You're not welcome.
Sit this one out, Alan. All right, the first one is.
Hold on, Ron. Before you go any further, Mars, what's up, brother? You just gonna sneak into the class and you ain't gonna say nothing to nobody? Just gonna go sit in the back and you ain't gonna say nothing? Is that what you're doing? What's up, Mars? What's going on, brother? You good?
Oh.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
We see what's going on here. Oh no, chat. We see. Okay.
Mars just kind of snuck in class and like snuck right into the back of the class and sat in one of the last seats in the last row and had his hoodie on. I just wanted to. Okay,
fellas, for what it's worth, it's gonna be all right. You know, like next season isn't too far away.
Next season,
right?
Ron, you know what, Ox, you know what? I learned a lot about Ron because he's a moderator, just in this position where he acts like he's not affected by anything. Ron's a Bucks fan, so whatever he's saying to you, he has way more expectations on him than anything you have. So you keep your head up because you have lost in the right way. You have injuries, and your team has underperformed due to injuries alone. That dude, right up there at the top right corner over there, has no excuse. None whatsoever. His team traded for a top 75 player and a top 12 player in the NBA.
Drew Holiday. Yes, they did.
And a top three offensive player last season per a lot of the typical advanced numbers that paint that stuff.
Yes, they did.
And so they're absolutely, man. That's what I'm saying, bro. Ox, don't let him talk to you like that, bro. For real, I can't believe that. I'm so sick of that.
I'm gonna see him in 48 hours, Swiper. I ain't even worried about that.
I got you.
I'm gonna see him in 48 hours.
Swiper, you got the biggest target on your back too. Like, don't try to act like look at that banner right behind you over both shoulders. You see that championship trophy that he holding? All of that. The finger you pointing at, you got the biggest target in here.
They at the top of the West. What you want him to do? He about to win another MVP. What you want him to do? Jamal Murray's missed 23 games, and he's missed 23 games and went out the first half.
Bronny entering the draft.
Bronny's entering the what?
I thought he was in the transfer portal.
Bronny's entering the draft.
Not anymore. He in the draft portal.
Speaking of the transfer portal, y'all seen Haley go to the transfer portal, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
This is despicable. This transfer portal is just despicable.
Yeah, we did. But I just wanted to put I just wanted to put that out there. Ron, you said you had a segment.
No. Whoa. Hold on. Now, chill. You just dropped.
I'm sorry.
Like,
what was
top classified news? Yes, that was a chill bomb. We got to talk about that. So, Bronny entering the draft. How are we feeling about this?
What are the rules now, Chill? Because back in the day, if you entered the draft, if you had an agent, you lost eligibility, right?
Correct.
But now with all things going on now, how does it work now?
You can withdraw.
Yeah, but back in the day, if no matter what, if you had an agent and you didn't get drafted, you still lost eligibility. So now, how does it work?
No more. You can do that. You can go up through the process at this point in time, and then once you back out,
your name
right?
Okay,
you still have your eligibility.
So he's just testing the waters and shit. He's just testing.
Just checking temperatures to see where he at. Which I mean, if we being honest, I don't think he's ready. He definitely should. He should definitely go back to school. It's clearly not a money thing. The money isn't the issue. And not only is the money not an issue, his game is what really the issue is. That's what the primary issue is. So if I'm asking Bronny, why is he doing this? He's doing this. It ain't for him. It's clearly for his father, because he's not ready to play basketball at the pro level yet. No, he's not.
Predictions on where it'll go?
Back to school?
Yes. Yes. That's what I was just about to say. Right back to school. He's not getting drafted. So
you guys really don't think he's not about to get drafted?
No.
I mean, he could, but I think some of this is like what I think. I mean, he could always go to Gilbert Arenas' way, because Gilbert had to figure it out. I just don't think he has the skill set yet, which is fine. I think I don't want him to put himself in a situation where he's like trying to meet expectations at all. And I don't think he is, because I think he's obviously very mature. He's obviously grown up in this life. But I just
Swipe it real quick. Can we stay where you at right there, Swipe? I want to just ask what you mean by go to Gilbert Arenas way, because did you see Gilbert Arenas in Arizona?
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you go in the second round and then you try to develop into something, in your rookie year, you kind of make this explosion over the course of the year. I'm saying that could be what he wants, but I'm saying I don't know that for sure. I just hope that he puts himself in the most advantageous situation that he feels he wants to be in.
Right. And I think that I think Mars, you had mentioned a team picking his son just off the strength of getting James for a season. I think James understands the game in that way, and I don't think he wants to sacrifice his son like that. I don't, because my son's basketball career is more important than leveraging me for a year, whether it's in Minnesota or anywhere else, just for 1 year, because he's gonna be around way longer than I am. I'm in year 21. I'm probably not going to play that long. So because I'm probably not going to play much longer, I don't want to sacrifice my son for a year so he can end up with a team who, after I'm gone, after a year, they start treating them a completely different way than they did when I was here. Do I want to risk that for my son? I don't. No, I do not.
Let's think about this, though, Chill. Maybe so. Maybe it's kind of one of them things like Bronny on the time, like, yo, I'm rich as hell. Like, I'm rich as hell already. If this hoop thing works out, whether it works out or not, the worst come to worst, I go play in the Euro League and have a ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just like, I don't need to be doing this school thing. You know what I'm saying? I could work out with Pops. You know what I'm saying? I'll get better. I'm thinking maybe that's how he's feeling about it. Maybe him and Bron. Maybe Bron isn't putting a whole bunch of pressure on him. Maybe Bron, like, I believe in your abilities. If whatever you want to do, son, let's do it. If you don't want to go to school, you don't have to. You don't need to. You can get better training with me and feel handy and stuff like that. And you don't
feel like that brands you though when you go to EuroLeague out of college though, like, and you try to make that leap over. Like Torrey Craig did it, Pat and them did it, but like, would you say that just because that's the abnormality that kind of brands you a little bit? Even Mike James, obviously. Yeah,
I think so, but I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, I don't know how they feel about it. Him, his dad, his mom. Maybe they're just on the time. Like, he doesn't plan on being a superstar one day anyway. He just wants to just go play basketball at the highest level he can. Maybe he feels like his development's going to be the same working out at the pro level as it is working out in college, or maybe even better. I don't know. And I'm not saying I agree with it. It's not my place to agree or disagree with it. I'm just saying maybe they don't really care. Maybe it's just like, damn, college, I don't need to be here. I'm rich. I'm gonna die rich regardless of what happens. So who cares?
I think he's checking the temperature just to find out where exactly he is in terms of draft stock. And more importantly, going into these workouts, I get to find out, what do I need to work on? Because they did the same thing with Zach Edey last year. We talking about the college player of the year. They told him to go back to school. Big fella, go back to school, work on this, get better at that. I think he's going to get drafted this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he got drafted in the first round. I feel like Zach Edey's going to be a steal. So this could very well be James putting his name in the draft, getting in workouts, not just with his father, but getting in workouts with other NBA teams and checking the temperature of the league to see how they feel about him. And what better time than now to start, where they look at me, God bless you, to look at me and go, all right, you need to get stronger with your weak hand. Your mid-range game needs to get better. You need to understand the game a little bit more. Go back to school and work on this, as opposed to, you're not getting drafted, you suck. I don't think that that's the case.
I think Bronny's prepared himself to become a late first-round pick or early second-round pick.
This year?
This year.
He ain't coming out the first round, bro.
I agree, Sniper.
I agree. That's not an ode to his talent at all. So I don't want anyone to hear that. That's just, I think that's more so where he is at currently, that he would be a little bit of a project. But there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Jimmy Butler, like, for instance, remember he had a really good career at Marquette, but he had some development to do. Went to drafted 27th, I think is what it was. And then Pascal Siakam, similarly, like late round success stories as well. So I'm saying, like, Desmond Bane, late round success stories. So, like, there's a possibility, but
it's a lot of late round success stories, late first round.
Yeah.
His game might translate better to the NBA than it does to college too.
I think he's a role player. I think he could be. I said 2 years ago, I think he could be KCP. Like,
Yeah.
remember KCP was number 10 overall pick, and then he was Mr. All Georgia and everything else. But he turned into went from an elite scorer to like an elite level 2-way player, like over the course of his career.
Well, that's the thing too. I think we're also looking at it the way we assume it should be because he's LeBron James' son. Like he might already be of the understanding. Like I'm not gonna be my pops. I'm not gonna be a superstar. He just wants to play basketball.
That's how I'm looking at it, Ox.
Yeah,
I ain't looking at. I'm not looking at him being James's son. I'm looking at him from a freshman in high school who turned himself into a McDonald's All-American. He ain't the same guy that he was in the 9th grade that he was in the 12th grade. And I feel like he's not going to be the same guy as a freshman in college as he would be as a junior. He's going to get better. The only reason why we're talking about this guy the way we're talking about him is because of his father. I am not under the belief that because that's his father, that he's got to live up to those expectations. Mm-hmm. That is so unrealistic. And that is so unfair to put him under that kind of microscope. That's my father. I'm never going to be that good. I am my own man. I'm not that big. I don't have that kind of skill set. It depends on who I end up getting with. Because in the NBA, the same thing can happen that happens in college, where you could get on the wrong crew and they could use you the wrong way. That could very well happen. So with that being said, I'm not looking at him like that. I'm looking at a kid who he can still go to school, develop in college, and become a pro. Because there's plenty of pros who are awesome in the pros, but when they first got to college, they weren't very good.
Right. A couple things. First things first, I want to say this: what you said about Zach Edey. Zach Edey should be a lottery pick. But besides that, we gotta also assume like Bronny might just be thinking for himself. You know what I'm saying? Maybe his pops doesn't have anything to do with this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe his pops is just like, yo, Bronny, whatever you want to do, you can do it because you're my son. Like, go enjoy your life. Do what it is you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's just that's a thing right there. I'm not too sure that any of us in the media, everybody that's talking about Bronny, because you know they've been on this young man's line for a long time, even before the heart situation, all of that, just assuming everything. Like they don't know what Bronny want to do. Bro, you know, he might be calling all the shots. You know what I'm saying? And his pops is just backing him up. Like, yeah, my son is good enough. You know what I mean? So
I think, but remember, Bron. I will say this: I think what Bron has done better than almost any, in Ken Griffey Sr. was similar, better than almost any high level player that had a child. What he did is he said multiple times very openly, like he said he wants to play with Bronny, but I think he's aware enough of where his son is, because you remember his first instinct was, I'm going to play wherever Bronny at type deal. But then over time it shifted. It sounded like because of his own development, but also maybe conversation with his son that, well, whatever he wants to do, I'm going to support him and however that looks like. And I'm not going to try to force a situation if it doesn't happen. So I think hopefully what it looks like is Bronny is coming to his own decision. Now, again, he's 19 years old, I believe now. So, like, obviously you're 20, you know, there's a lot of pressure on him on many different sides. So he could be succumbing to that. But I think that's the hard part about being 18, 19, 20, 21 in the limelight, is you're having to make all these really adult decisions about your life. And you have so many people that are kind of having a say on it. And even us at this point, which is why for me, just do the best that you can for yourself. And if you make a mistake in your decision, as Chill knows, I know Ox and Ron, we're all over 30, and, you know, Mars is in his teens still. Like, all of us have been in this situation where we're trying to make a good decision with limited knowledge because we only have limited experience. So I just hope that even if he makes a mistake, that he realized this isn't the end of that. Like, whatever you decide, prayerfully.
You spitting right now, Swiper. You spitting right now. Hey, but, so not to get too personal, but just to kind of add a little more insight to this. Swiper, when you were going to school, when you were leaving high school and stuff, were you making your own decisions about, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna play here, or did you have like your parents,
D1,
mentor,
D1.
Anybody?
D1. That's all I cared about. Right. So as soon as
But did you make these decisions on your own at your age, 18, 17, whatever, however old you were? Did you make all these decisions by yourself?
Yeah, I mean, thankfully my folks were hands off enough to where they were like, you know, we'll support you in whatever you have to do. I think my thing was I wanted to be at the biggest stage possible, but also to have the best chance to go into the league. So that took everything from me. Similar to all of us, probably. I didn't go to the best coaching situation, but ultimately, like, it ended up working out in my favor. So I think, football is just a very, 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 very competitive sport where like obviously less than 0.5% like make D1. So like I was excited for that, but I think a lot of it is you go into it when you're 18, 19, 20, like you want the lights, you want the glam, you want the girls, you want all the stuff, you go on recruiting trips and it's like, ooh, we everywhere type thing. So I was influenced by like certain things, but at the same time, I wanted to be in the best situation to like, be
I feel like James is in a situation where it's a double-edged sword. So number one, he's privy to more information at 18 than the majority of us were at 18 years old. He's got a lot more insight. He's got a lot more people backing him. There isn't really anything that he's in the dark about at this age. Like we didn't have the era of social media and understanding coaches and understanding universities and what their objective was with them. So now you got a kid in James who I can understand exactly what coming into your school playing for you is going to look like right from the beginning, because I got people around me who've done their homework, who've been advising me at the right time. But on the flip side to that, I also got the pressure of who my father is. And having the pressure of who my father is, people now expect me to be that. So that could also tie into my decision, where people expect me to be my father, or people expect me to be as good as him. So now they expect me to come right to the NBA and have that kind of pedigree, when in reality, maybe I'm not ready to do that just yet.
Chill. I don't think that's the case at all. I think we know clear. I don't think it's nobody in this chat I know up here that expects Bronny to come and be an all-star. I actually think he's in a privileged position because nobody's expecting him to be a star or anything like that. I think everybody's expecting him to come and be a role player.
But he still have bronze tag on him though.
Right.
Well, yeah, he had, so he'll have
remember Jordan. Remember Jordan's son with Illinois. He was cold. Like he was nice. He had another son. To South Florida, Central Florida, or Florida National.
So Marcus went to Central Florida, and Jeff went to University of Illinois.
Right, Jeff, and they were great, but like they just weren't daddy.
Yes.
And that's one thing. I'm happy you said that, Swipe, because a lot of people always, his kids were weak. I was like, they wasn't weak. The boys had game. They just wasn't MJ. And then one of them came across Eric Gordon. Like, what you think gonna happen?
I think Marcus made the All League team down in Central Florida. I think he made the All League team one time, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he was pro good, but I do think that he made the All League team at some point. But again, I feel like the position that he's in, I think he's testing the waters right now. And he got enough people around him. I feel like he got enough people around him where whatever decision he makes, it won't be as hard as if he wasn't able to do it if he had to do it by himself.
I do also want to point out too, like the league is prime for 3-and-D guys. It's never been a time that's been more prevalent for 3-and-D guys.
He's small though, Ron, to be a D&3 guy. He's too small to be a D&3 guy.
Well, here's the thing. So he's 6'4".
He's not that big, Ron. He isn't.
6'3"? We'll say 6'3".
He's 6'3".
He's 6'3".
But he can still grow. He's young.
He has a good frame, and he's athletic. We're not going to act like he's not strong and athletic for an 18, 19-year-old. He's only his body's only going to build between now and when he turns 30. He's only going to get stronger. I'm not going to say he's going to get more athletic, but he'll be around this athleticism. He has the tools necessary to be a 3-and-D guy, whether that's as a starter, whether that's as a 6th, 7th, 8th man, or whether that's as a guy at the end of the bench where it's like, okay, if somebody gets injured, you can come and play.
Is he a starter? Is he at minimum? What I'm not going to say what he is. What do you think he is at minimum in the league today?
Now,
in the league today?
Oh, he's off the bench, maybe. Like he's probably a 13th man right now, but
so he's a fringe role player.
No, not even.
He's
a two-way player right now. Like he needs to play more time.
So a two-way contract guy.
And chill with that. With that being said, though, it's a lot of first-round guys that are two-way players or at the end of the bench, and not to mention the second-round guys. Like that's not. If he gets drafted and becomes a two-way player, that's all right.
Is he better than that for a year or two? Today, is he better than Amani Bates?
No. Amani got no, not yet.
No, just Swiper in the league. I think he might be.
now, but
in
I'm
the
saying
in the league. I'm not saying he's
Today,
a
Ron.
better basketball player,
Today,
but
Ron.
to play that role,
Right.
yeah,
Today.
I would rather Bronny play because Bronny's good. It's like Bronny. When you get in, you're picking up full court. Yeah, you're guarding him like a mitt the whole time you're in here. And I think just spacing. You guys forget, Bronny is actually a solid decision maker with the ball too. Not saying that he's going to ask to be in pick and rolls and stuff like that, but if the ball swings, I respect Bronny's decision maker from what I've seen to make the right play, swing the ball, take the one dribble pull up, or just shoot the three.
Ron, can I say the same thing about Imani Bates? His game is actually tailor-made for what the game is today in terms of a long ball shooter. Just a dude to stand on the long ball line, just a guy to run pin downs and crack long balls. Can I say that the game is tailor-made for his game too?
Yeah, but no, like Imani, he's first off, he's not good on defense. Mars has pointed that out, and we've all seen Imani Bates. He's not really that athletic, so it's tough for him to, get to the rack and things of that nature. But also, right. Imani Bates is one-track minded. He's out there just looking to score. Right. Bronny, he's actually going to play basketball for the team. And that might look like Bronny not even coming in and shooting a shot. It might look like him playing 15 minutes.
You think he's mentally? So I think that's the thing. When you're younger, I think it's easier to rely on scoring skill sets initially, because then you can just know how to get a bucket or get to a spot. But I think when you're a role player, it's difficult. Like for Amen Thompson, we all think probably by the time Amen Thompson's 25 years old, he's going to be one of the best two-way guards in the league, bar none, because I think his intellect and his skill and experience will all lead up to that. I think Bronny, when's the last time we've seen a player come into the league that was like a late round pick that was immediately a good to great or an average to good to great two-way player? That was
late round player. Late round pick.
Maybe Herb Jones. He was second round as a rookie, but he wasn't a great spot up shooter at all at that point in time. But defensively, he was incredible.
Draymond.
That was 2010?
12.
12, yes, 12. So, that first year, but he was in rotation too with that David West that year?
David Lee.
Yeah, David Lee, that's right. But that's what I'm saying. I think it just takes a little bit more time to figure that kind of stuff out and those nuances. Malcolm Brogdon, Michael Carter Williams figured it out, but he had a little bit more of a scoring shot. But he was also an early pick too, so that just might take some time, I think.
I just feel like I feel like with a kid with his stature, I don't think that it would hurt to check the temperature of the league, to see where he is, to know what he's got to go back and work on and understand that. So once I know, this is what they're looking for, and I'm not just getting it from my father, because I think that's the most important part. When you're just getting it from your father, you think that, my pops is the end-all be-all because he played in the league for as long as he's played in the league. And he does know general managers. He does know how the league works. But I feel like it's different hearing it from somebody else, hearing it from different general managers. This is what we like about you. This is what we don't like about you. This is what we'd like to see you work on. This is what we'd like to see you improve on. And I'm keeping my eye on you, because the same recruiting process that they have from high school to college, they do the same thing in the pros. The exact same thing in the pros, where coaches, where general managers will see a guy. Bernie Bickerstaff is a prime example of that. Gary Payton talked all the time about when he was at Oregon State. He talked all the time about when he was at Oregon State. He said that every time he looked up in the stands, Bernie Bickerstaff was at our games. This is Bernie Bickerstaff who used to go to Seattle Supersonics. They're like, yo, what is this dude doing here? Well, he's here because he's looking at you. And he wasn't just here my senior year. He was here my junior year. He was here my sophomore year. He was paying attention to me, paying attention to the growth of my game, seeing what kind of player I'm becoming. They couldn't talk to you back then because there was guidelines in terms of the NCAA. But now you can actually do that face-to-face. And I think that's a good thing for James.
Yo, Mars, do you have any comment on Bronny or any predictions, thoughts?
I haven't watched him enough to know if he's good or not. I don't want to talk about someone who I've barely watched. I'm gonna do my draft stuff post-season, then I can have an opinion on Bronny. But if I had to guess, I think this draft class isn't very good. If he has a good chance to get drafted, it's this year more than any. So I'd probably stay in the draft if I was him. Yeah. But that's what I'm
glad that Mars is one of the only people up here that will admit they don't watch and then will also not comment, because some of y'all. Whatever.
All right.
And everybody's talking about, and by the way, real quick, Ron, everybody talking about the fact that he averaged 4 points. If I'm not mistaken, it was just 2 years ago. What's the kid's name from Alabama?
I know you're talking about.
I'm looking right at him, Swiper. And
who does he play for?
Forgot who he got drafted by, but he got drafted.
Nah, bro. Who was that, bro?
He got drafted in like the first 12 guys. He averaged 8 points.
Primo, Joshua Primo.
It might be him.
It might be
went to the Spurs. Young dude.
Peyton Watson too averaged 3 points a game.
I've used the Peyton Watson comparison.
He averaged 3 points. So it's not like you come into the NBA, all of these guys are just all Americans and they've been tearing it up in college. No, they haven't. That's not been going on. No.
Well, like Ron, you talk about that a lot. Drafting for potential.
Hey, was J-Dub when he went out at 12? Was J-Dub already like certified, or that was a little bit of a reach at the time?
He was good at Santa Clara, but Santa Clara's just not a big school, so people weren't really paying attention.
I think he was a player of the year in that league, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I liked him, but
you don't get drafted. I
didn't remember hearing like top 14 about J-Dub though, and that's when he went high. And then but that's what I'm saying, bro. You get some of these dudes out of like I said, I hope the best for Bronny. I hope the best for all of them. For is it Keon? How do you say Anthony's?
Anthony. Keon, I think.
Might be Keon Anthony.
I watched him play this year. He's dope.
Yeah, he's tall. He's 6'4", 6'5".
No, I think so. Like 6'4". Yeah, about that. He's dope though. He's still young though. He got time. He was playing with another cat that's like at the top right now, one of the top recruits. So he's not really the star on the team right now, but you could tell he's gonna be good.
But shoot, Bronny, Bryce, and then if Jury decides you want to play, I hope all those kids do well because I don't think people realize how much pressure star kids are under as soon as they touch like high school. Once you touch a freshman, if you're not like in conversation for freshman of the year in your state or like all American, all that stuff, and everybody thinks you like you're disappointing. But development is not. It's not a linear process. It just takes a lot of time.
I was really pushing for Zaire too. I thought Zaire was going to be dope.
Yeah.
But then, like Lil Sis took all the spotlight, but all that goes. So.
All right, y'all go ahead and slap that like button if you haven't. Shout out to all of our new members, all of our subscribers. And we will be on playback.tv today. So y'all go ahead and check us out. Today it will be chill and Ox. It will be chill with chill today. The Kings versus the Celtics. Ox, you get a chill. You get another shot of redemption tonight. So that's going to be a good game, but we'll get to that because we're going to talk about all the slated games tonight. We're going to look at the standings. We're going to talk about last night's games. But before we do that, I got to ask you guys a few questions, and I need to hear whether it's facts or whether it's cap. First thing is, Chris Broussard says the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James will not win another title unless Kyrie comes. Facts or cap? Do they need Kyrie to win a championship?
Wait, what did Reach say that again?
Chris Broussard said that the Lakers will only win a championship if Kyrie comes.
So Kyrie's the only player that can get.
But why are we talking about next year?
This the same Chris Broussard who said that if Wemby has a career like Olajuwon, it's a failure.
I just want to put that out. Kyrie's under contract. What kind of? They be running out of things to say. That's sad. But here we are talking about the things they said. So
they were talking about that in the segment the other day on First Things First. But I don't think that was the main point of the segment. I think that was just a response to. Was that a response to Nick? And Nick thinks they're like running the table outside of Denver in the Western Conference. But I mean, Kyrie's not going there, so I really don't.
Okay. But Kyrie's not gonna go there. So is that his long way of saying they're just not gonna win? Is that what it is?
He doesn't think they're getting by Denver. And then
so you guys are calling cap.
I mean, it's just every time we talk about, not every time, when we talk about the Lakers, it's always like fantasy land, baddies and beaches, Wizard of Oz, like stuff that doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like I can't actually tangibly touch it. It's like conceptually, theoretically, if Dune was featured on a water planet, it'd be a different movie, but it's not. It's a sand planet. So like I can't speculate what the other movie would be like. I don't know what the other reality for the Lakers would be like if they had maybe LeBron does get Kawhi Leonard to sign a few years ago. But it didn't happen. So I just think just theoreticals don't work for the Lakers. Right now they have LeBron, AD, and they got Gabe Vincent. Go in.
Sure, if they had Kyrie, they could win. Yeah, I guess facts. So, I don't know.
All right, on to the next.
No.
Colin Coward said Luka Doncic is Carmelo Anthony with the 3-point shot.
Cap.
He said the same thing about he's got Carmelo Anthony in the same category with James Harden, Dominique Wilkins. He has him in that same category.
Ooh.
So Colin Cowherd, he does.
How do you? Well, let me stop. Let me stop because they have very similar number. Dominique Wilkins and Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm. But he has them in that same category in terms of you're winning with these guys. That's the kind of category
you didn't win with either.
Mm-hmm.
But they also ran into ghosts too. Respect.
Yeah.
If Melo doesn't run into a loaded Kobe team, then I think he does have a championship by now. But
Facts. Ox. Facts or cap? Luka is Carmelo with a 3-point shot.
Oh, they're not even the same player.
All right.
One of them's a true hooper.
We're all calling cap. All right, moving
along.
along.
Tell him if you had to pull one up in the gym right now, I guarantee Melo beating Luka 1-on-1 right now.
That's not even a conversation.
Guarantee.
Dog.
Melo's beating Luka once, but I don't think that's.
Melo's beating Bron in 1-on-1 too. Had that conversation.
Yeah.
Who is it? If you think about Melo,
there's not many people who I got.
That's what I was about to say, Mars. How many people isn't Carmelo beating 1-on-1?
I think Melo could beat Kobe 1-on-1. Honestly, when they're at their apex, Melo was, remember, he was a bull. Like, he was huge, and he had a mass. Like, I think Melo honestly is clearing most people ever 1-on-1 as a scorer.
So when I said that in 2013, there was a legit conversation that Carmelo Anthony was the best 1-on-1 player in the game. I was
in 2013.
Like between 2008,
obvious though.
Between 2008 and 2013, there was a legit conversation that Carmelo Anthony was the best 1-on-1 player in the game. When I said that, I was ridiculous.
If you're bringing up 2008, Melo, KD, but KD was a little young at the time. Arenas could have been in that convo at that 07, 06 era.
Dirk was still running around.
Dirk for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Dirk.
James Harden.
Honestly, you know what would be funny? Nash. But the reason why I'm saying Nash, he wouldn't miss a shot, so he would never get the ball. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. If he could remember Nash, literally from 3, he shot like 42% on a couple of those seasons, and then if he got to the rim, that floater, the mid range, that one-legged shot, yeah, bro. If he makes it, then he's not giving the ball up.
I'm trying to figure out real quick, Ron. I'm trying to figure out where the logic is with Luka. With Luka being Carmelo Anthony with a jump shot. He didn't pass like Luka.
If I recall, he said they both score a lot, but you wouldn't want them as your teammates, and we're not sure if you can win with them. That if I recall correctly, that's what he said. So he's stupid.
I do worry sometimes about Luka having to do as much as he has to do. I do worry about that, but I don't think them two dudes are the same. No, I don't think that.
Not even close.
All right, chill town. Next. Your cousin, Shaq, said the Orlando Magic would sweep the Knicks in a playoff matchup. Okay. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but is it facts that the Knicks will sweep them?
No, I don't think so.
Or that the Knicks will get swept?
No, I don't think the Knicks would get swept in that series. I think that they would, at minimum, I think they could bully a win. At minimum, I think they could bully a win. That doesn't mean that they can't win more games, but I think that they could bully one win. Just off the strength of how they are. I don't think that they could. I don't think they would. Orlando would sweep them. No.
Swiper, Ox, Mars.
I don't think
we got
I don't think it's a sweep.
Nobody sees a sweep.
I think Orlando would possibly win, but I don't think it's a sweep. 6 games, 5 games, something like that.
No, I don't think you're that young sweeping.
What are they doing to sweep? Well, my question is, what are they doing to sweep the Knicks? Like that, like where the Knicks don't get a win, like one win. What is Orlando doing?
Holding them to like 85, 90 points. That's what it would have to be. Like you just have to slow the offense down that drastically. Right. Like you're just winning 92 to 87.
But they don't even know what shots to take, Mars. Like to close out a game. Right. I don't even know what shots to get into in a half court.
They're not a good clutch team, Orlando.
Right.
Paolo's very questionable in the clutch, but.
All they know is to shoot. Like, okay, I'm gonna get to a spot, try to force it over like Kobe and Bron. But I think you just like let me like the Thunder, for instance. Who do they have the biggest matchup in the playoff field? Like at the lower tier of the Western Conference, like the Warriors. Would it be the Warriors?
Yeah, I think
so.
Yeah,
but if they say they should beat them based on the numbers in 5, I think that I don't think that they would be able to like mentally get to a space where they know how to close out some of those games they need to close out, because I just don't think you don't know what you don't know. Like even great players didn't do it. Great players didn't do it early on. It's just, I don't know. I'm just shooting.
Right.
All right, y'all. On to the next. We haven't talked about this yet, but Paul Pierce made some comments calling out Rudy Gobert. He said nobody considers European players tough, especially from France.
That's just not true. I'm sick of hearing this logic about the Euros.
Oh, are we talking about Gilbert today too? Let's talk about Gilbert today too, because goodness.
Some of the stuff that's been said about European players recently has been very.
And they're mad.
Well,
like
he
that.
did. He
Like,
said especially the French. I mean, the Frenchies have been known to be a little soft.
Isn't Serge Ibaka from France?
That's number one.
He's from a French.
Wait,
he's
isn't
from
Tony
France.
Parker
He's
from
from
France?
Tony Parker is not soft.
I disagree. I'm not saying
Yeah,
I agree with it. I don't agree
Tony
with it.
Parker
I'm
is
just putting
Rudy
it out
Gobert
there,
is not soft. You
He's the
can't
best
be
defensive player in the league.
You can't be soft and be that good on that side of the basketball. He's not soft. Isn't Boris Diaw from France?
AD soft? Yeah,
Boris Diaw, that's the
was
one.
soft.
Boris Diaw, that's the one. We can stop.
Boris
He's not
Diaw from
soft.
France. He wasn't soft.
No, he wasn't soft. Hell no.
Like, where y'all getting this from? Where this Euro tag, that was 30 years ago when they just showed up, which, by the way, if you think about the Euros, they still like Detlef Shrimp wasn't soft. Marshallonis wasn't soft. Tony Kukoc, even though Tony Kukoc came into the league as a jump shooting big man, Tony Kukoc was not soft. He was not. So when I hear this, I feel like this Euro tag and them being soft, I feel like this thing is it's played out. It is.
Yeah,
it's straight played out.
And,
Yeah.
and you can watch when Kukoc was playing over there. I think he was playing in the Italian league over there. You can see there wasn't nothing soft about Tony Kukoc. He was coming through there, catching bodies. He was doing all the playing. Man, He was playing physical. There was nothing soft about Tony Kukoc at all.
Even Dino Raja was not soft. No, I'm not putting him on. Like, I'm not saying what Kukoc said about him, but Dino Raja was not. He wasn't soft.
Let's get back into that.
Yeah, he was. Dino Raja was not soft. Let's chill out on that, man. I just think that I think the whole soft tag, I think it was something that happened years ago, and then they kind of just ran with it. Like Dirk Nowitzki wasn't soft. You couldn't push Dirk around. You are not pushing Dirk Nowitzki around. Pau Gasol was not soft. He had ran up on Garnett, who he actually played good against Garnett in the past, but he ran up on Garnett in those finals, and he wasn't prepared for that. Which I was so happy when they played them again in 2010, because Pau Gasol's attitude toward Kevin Garnett was very simple. I can't tell you what's going to happen in this series. You ain't kicking my ass again, though. I know that for a fact. That's not happening again. Whether we win this series or not, that's a different conversation. You ain't kicking my ass like you did the last time I saw you in the finals, and he didn't. He did not. So I'm over that soft tag. It's corny. It is.
All right, y'all. The next thing I got for y'all, it's looking like next year in the All-Star game. Well, for the All-Star weekend, they will expand on the whole Steph Curry versus Sabrina Ionescu thing, but they're going to add Klay Thompson and Caitlin Clark, and it will be 2-on-2. This is good for All-Star weekend. Facts or cap?
Yeah, it's cool.
They're going to expand on it. Wait, I want to make sure I'm understanding you wrong.
It'll be Sabrina and Caitlin versus Klay and Steph. But why not Kelsey though? Why Kelsey Plum can't get no love?
Because Caitlin Clark's the biggest draw in women's basketball. That's why.
And if Kelsey joins, they're gonna beat him.
Right,
So it's like,
Gotcha. I mean, it's cool. I like
cool. Yeah, I think it's
I like
cool.
it. Yeah.
Also, weekends beyond saving, but I mean, I guess it
I will say this though. I don't know if y'all peep, but the when they do the college 3-point shooter contest and dunk contest, it was better than the NBA's. I'll say that.
The
The
kid from
3-point
Nebraska.
contest?
Yeah, the kid from Nebraska, he was the real deal.
Yeah, the 3-point contest and the dunk contest, that was crazy. Oh man.
The college dunk contest is always better than the NBA dunk contest, though. Dating back to like 2000. I remember when I was in high school watching that, like 2006. Like, yo, this is way better.
What was Flight's name? James White? Remember?
James Flight White. James
Mhm.
Flight White.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was the first one I ever seen do a windmill from the free throw line, and I was in the college dunk contest.
You also got to understand though the amount of college players versus NBA players. It's kind of it's just more people to choose from.
There was the kid, the Jamil Pugh. Jamil Pugh, he went to Sac State. I used to work out with him like when I was younger, when he had already left. He was a dog. He had won that one dunk contest. He was crazy. Zach Andrews, he went to Yuba College a little before I did. He jumped over. Dude was crazy. But I want to talk about Haley Frank. Haley Frank from Missouri. The way she was shooting that ball yesterday, I'm talking about just beautiful form. Just straight bow right to it. I had to pause it, rewind it. I had to call my son, yo, sit down and watch how this girl shooting the ball. Dad, I don't want to watch. Nah, you're gonna watch it. She's shooting the ball same way every time. It was crazy because when I got to the top of the key, she started clanking. Dad, she's missing. What am I watching this for? I said, look at her. Don't worry about the ball. Look at the way she's shooting that ball. Same way every time. I'm talking about that is one of the most beautiful jump shots I've ever seen. Y'all go check out Haley Frank from Missouri. I'm talking about a beautiful jump shot. Right there every time. Straight here. Bow. Straight. I'm talking about perfect. Yep. Perfect.
All right, y'all. Next, Nikola Jokic is the favorite to win the MVP. Facts or cap?
Well, that's just factual. Like by the odds, it's factual.
It's been over for 3 months, but we had to have these silly conversations about it. But it's been over.
It's a wrap. Pack it up. Nicola's
I just think people were just looking for other reasons. Like it was never like SGA and Mars. Whoever's the chill. You've been around. Whoever's the historian. There's not been a single MVP in the last 44 years that has won an MVP without having won a playoff series as the lead option prior. Not one. SGA was never winning. He was never going to win that unless he had to be so remarkably great.
When did Steve Nash win?
Wait. Rewind. There hasn't been a single player to win the. I want to make sure I'm understanding this right.
That has won in the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Check that Nash one. That's the only one I'm not sure about. But I'm
he
pretty sure
he was in Dallas next to Dirk.
Right.
That has won an MVP.
That has won an MVP. That's won an MVP. Without winning a series prior as the number one option.
Derrick Rose never did it either. I'm certain he hasn't won a.
But Derrick Rose that year had went from So Derrick Rose that year had went from where they were in the East that year to being overall number one, and then they had also beat LeBron in the head-to-head match with that. So that's what I'm saying. Like there had to be like the overwhelming narrative.
Yeah, but there are players who have done it.
Yeah, so there's Nash and there's Rose. Yes, but then also
Jordan neither. Jordan won he won a.
This is.
MVP.
We're getting a couple names. Russell Westbrook has never won a series.
No, Russ. No, I can't count Russ.
Russ hadn't won a series as the lead.
I know, but like Russ was still like a tier one player though.
No. Now the goalpost is moved because you said
no, it's not.
He's a tier one player.
4 years.
No, I'm saying Mars. You're right about Rose. You can say Rose. You can say Nash. You can say Jordan. But I'm saying like. Russell Westbrook was a clear top 7 player in the league at that point. So
he had won a playoff series.
Right.
Before
so
winning the league.
That's what I'm saying. And he also had been to the NBA Finals and had 40 in the finals game.
What difference does it make? No, Mars. What difference?
He said as the lead guy. Like that's the definition.
He had 40 in the finals game, Mars. He'd already been solidified.
Moved. I'm not arguing about what you're saying now. I'm saying the goalpost.
If you Rhodes is cool, Nash is cool, but Jordan was undisputably the best player in the world at this point in time.
I'm not arguing against that. I'm saying the goalpost is moved.
No, but Russell Westbrook doesn't count.
It was a moment when KD was out.
He had never won a playoff series before his MVP.
No.
Russell Westbrook was next to Kevin Durant and was never the number one option.
Russell Westbrook was
without winning a playoff series as the number one.
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, you can point to Rose and Nash. That's fine. I'd have no issue with that. But for Jordan, well, I didn't even. That happened in 85 or 6.
So we're going back to 19.
So I'm saying that's cool. That's cool. But I'm saying the issue is with what's happening right now with SGA. Right. And then even with the issue, compare it to Rose, you can compare it, but even like that year, Rose had done something that was at that point in time insurmountable for a lot of people in the Eastern Conference. And he was 22 years old. So again, facts, no problem. Nash also led the greatest offense of all time in a half-court setting that following year, and they were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference after departing from Dirk. But I think the issue is with the SGA thing is SJ had just never, ever been solidified as one of those dudes. So going against Jokic or Luka or Giannis, and again, he's going to finish in front of Giannis, but I think that speaks more to like how people view Giannis this season as a whole than I think the overall construction. I think SJ is going to finish 2, but I think the idea of him beating Jokic in this year without having that band behind him, and the fact that coming into this year, I said Jokic was going to be the easiest of the 4. I think he wins 4 MVPs of the MVPs he ever wins in his career. This would be the easiest one because of what happened last year and because of how good he was going to be coming into the season. So, but yeah, you're right. You can count Rose and Nash. Go ahead.
Swiper, hey, Shea better not come in the first seed.
Why?
It's just
it's
over.
He's hurt. He's hurt. No, he's hurt. He's not even been playing. Like it's over.
He's missed like the last, I think, 4 or 5 games, something like that.
Right.
Is he out for the next 4 or 5 games?
Even if he didn't miss those games, just so you know, Ron, he was having a stretch where he was like 21, 22 a game.
Giannis hasn't even won a playoff series before 2019,
which is way different. Which is way different than his.
I'm going to get right.
I'm going to get right back to
Game 7 against Boston. He hadn't won. I'm not gonna lie, this was just not true.
So Giannis
hadn't done it. No, because the goalpost was set. This is what you said verbatim.
Giannis, Rose, Nash, you said Garnett.
In the last 44 years, there hasn't been a player to win MVP who had not won a playoff series as the lead guy. That's what you said. So we go back. Joel Embiid has done it. Jokic done it. Giannis did not do it in 2019. Jokic won a playoff series in 2019.
No, go back. Go ahead.
So Embiid had done it because he's got past the first round. Jokic has done it. Giannis in 2019 had not done it yet. James Harden has done it. Russell Westbrook had not done it. Steph Curry did it in 20. Steph Curry, because Russell Westbrook was behind KD.
Cool. But
he was not the lead guy.
Go ahead.
The league is scoring, Mars. And 15 left the league is scoring.
I missed the playoffs. I'm not arguing he wasn't the lead guy. I'm saying he had never won a playoff series as the lead guy because that's what the goalpost was when it was set. He was the lead guy on the team. They missed the playoffs when KD wasn't there. 2016, KD was the lead guy. They won a playoff series. 2017, KD had left and Russell Westbrook won an MVP. He was never the lead guy on the team that won a playoff series.
Move on from Russ. Yes.
Okay,
so then you got Braun.
Steph Curry has done it because he won a series in 2013. Kevin Durant had done it. LeBron had done it. Derrick Rose had never done it. Kobe Bryant, you could say had done it, but technically he hadn't won a playoff series without Shaq.
No, let's not.
He hadn't won a playoff series without Shaq. So
I don't know if that's not ridiculous.
So if you want to say he was the lead guy in 04 or 03, go ahead and say it. But the goalpost was
I'm not gonna lie. This is getting nasty.
We
let the Russ slide. We let the Russ slide. Kobe now, it's like, come on.
What he said. Was Kobe Bryant better than Shaq? Was Kobe Bryant better than Shaq?
Mars, but this is what I'm saying, though.
Was Kobe Bryant better than Shaq?
This is what I'm saying, though, Mars. This is what I'm saying. So
it's not about
no.
Mars. Okay, cool. I'm giving you. You're right. I'm giving you Rose. I'm giving you Nash. Context, all that stuff is cool. But again, so let me more expand the language. So as a lead option, either you could say 1A, whatever. And then on top of that, having a generational season, like both of those things. I think the issue for me is that at that time, Kobe, which I've never heard Kobe that wasn't like a lead option on that team. For me, he was. I think he was clearly whatever. He was 1A, 1B. They won 3 championships, all that other stuff. But even prior to that, if you start with Jordan. Jordan was a generationally great player who literally had 27 points a game as a rookie. When had the series versus Boston with the 63, he was just a different tier of player. But that's why I'm not putting him, Kobe, or Westbrook for that matter, because Westbrook for me is just obvious. Like he was. I know, Mark. I expanded the language. Just to fit it.
Expanded the language. Goalpost, yes.
Sure.
I mean, sure. Okay.
But it's not. I'm moving. I'm
not even arguing again. Like, do I disagree with you? It's like what you said just wasn't true. So
I just opened it up, Mark. But I'm saying I literally opened it up after you said it. That's what it means to make adjustments, though, Mars.
Yeah. So what you said wasn't true, and Ron saying so. Like all I'm doing is not pointing out the fact that it wasn't true.
But Mark, you're bringing in Kobe Bryant,
and did Swiper deliberately? I mean, because there's the difference.
Well, he said he did the research 44 years. There's no way he saw Giannis and was like, he hadn't won a series like that. That's 4 MVPs ago. Like that shouldn't have been. You should have seen that.
Giannis in that season. Was that the first of the 25, 10, and 5 years? He was also third in the DPOY, second in DPR race that year. I can't remember wherever he finished. Like Giannis went from being an all-star caliber player, make a significant leap to being the MVP player. Was the clear MVP in most people's eyes, depending on how you feel about like Harden and all that other stuff. And then again, going to that Westbrook. Clear number one option for me in terms of like he was just his value to the team. I didn't even consider that a part of the option. Rose, cool. Rose also did something generational. Kobe was our number one option, 1B, 1A, whatever you want to put him at. And then obviously you have Jordan. So I think all of those players have the context for sure. I think the thing with SGA had never at any point in time shown any remote success in a playoff setting as the lead or leading option, one of the leading options going into a series. Now, again, he had the mark when he had the 2018 run, when he played 2018-19, when he played versus the Thunder versus the Warriors and all that. But he just wasn't good enough at that point in time. So yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't gonna get it.
All right, y'all. I got one more for you guys. Apparently, Draymond Green says Wemby should win DPOY. Facts or cap?
No.
I remember when he was saying before that he should.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
Should he? I don't know, maybe, but he's not going to. So Rudy's gonna win it. Is Wemby the best defender in the league? Maybe, but nah. I guess cap.
Swiper, you saying cap too?
It's not happening. It's not happening.
All right.
Not happening at all.
Wemby will not be the Frenchman to win Defensive Player of the Year, according to my guys up here. Last but not least, Ox, I'm glad you jumped back up here. We have yet to talk about Angel Reese joining the draft, the WNBA draft officially entering. How do we feel about that? Big Ox, you muted, brother.
Okay, I'm good now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, I hope she has a great career. I think she will actually have a pretty decent career. I think she'll play for a long time. Her ability to rebound is going to keep her around. She's a hell of a rebounder. She obviously has to work on some things. I think she has to work on her post moves. Has to work on knocking down that mid-range jump shot, which I've seen her do. I've seen her do that before. I think she just needs to get a little faster. That's the big thing. She has a problem getting around girls that are even bigger than her that typically should be a little slower. I think it's unfair for people to keep comparing her to A'ja Wilson. A'ja Wilson is a once-in-a-lifetime talent. And it's just unfair.
People are comparing her to A'ja Wilson?
How many people are doing that, though?
I've heard that comparison a lot, just talking about A'ja Wilson. I'm just like, that's just not fair for Angel Reese. Angel Reese is her own player. They don't play the same. As y'all know how I feel about A'ja. A'ja is the one. And so it's just not fair to her. But I think she'll have a decent career. She'll be able to play for as long as she wants to, based on her ability to rebound. And if she puts some other things into her game, I think she'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm happy that she entered the draft. I mean, she obviously could have came back and got better. Could have came back and competed for another national championship. But kind of like she said, like, I've done everything that I could do in 4 years in college.
Right.
Like, it's no point in me coming back.
And another thing too, I think Gilbert Arenas got it wrong. I think Gilbert Arenas got it wrong about her going to the Sparks. The Sparks, they got the second and fourth. If the Sparks don't pick Cameron Brink and Camila Cardozo, I think they missed by a mile. And also, I think Angel Reese would be better playing up there in Minnesota with Nafisa Collier. I think her ability, because Nafisa gonna put the ball in the bucket at will. So Angel's not gonna have any. You know what I'm saying? Angel's not gonna have to step up and be one of the best players. She can be able to watch Nafisa get busy and rebound the basketball.
Shout out Fisa. That's one of my favorite WNBA players. Like, she really is tough.
Ooh, Nafisa go crazy.
I can't wait to watch Nafisa play this year.
Hey, I can't wait for the WNBA to start, bro. This is taking too long. Hey, Morris, like I said yesterday when you was on playback, bro, I'm gonna make you a WNBA fan. Watch.
If they had WNBA League Pass, I'd do it. But it's like the same with college basketball. Like, I gotta find outer sources if I want to go watch those games. It's not like
gotcha.
So
so you can't just watch NC2A over there. It's just I don't know what I'm thinking.
Yeah, like, so that's the thing. Like, I want to, like, college basketball, especially when draft time comes. I'd want to watch March Madness, but legally I can't, or I gotta pay for stuff that I don't want to pay for. So yeah, like, so I'm gonna be honest. I want to watch it, but not enough for it to come out of my pockets to watch it. So, like,
I'm keeping my dough. Yeah, I'm keeping my dough.
Like, if I had to pick between those two, I end up just not doing that.
And speaking of Angel Reese not doing post moves, I gotta ask y'all, because I haven't been in denial about it. I just kind of just kept changing the subjects. We could talk about other things every time it came up. And I love dude. Y'all know I love dude. I really do. I love him so much it makes me uncomfortable. Why won't that boy use his right hand no more? What happened to his right hand?
Who are you talking about?
When he was at Gonzaga, when he was in Indiana, I seen him use his right. Domantas Sabonis act like his right arm is cut off.
I'm telling you that man don't have a right hand.
Because I'm so big, Ron. I'm so big on being ambidextrous in basketball. I believe anything you can do with this hand, you can do with this hand. I'm talking about shooting jump shots from 17 feet and beyond. I'm talking about every single thing you can do with this hand, you should be able to do with this hand comfortably. I'm seeing dudes really just stand on Domantas' right shoulder. Like really stand on his right shoulder. I'll be like, Domantas, all you gotta do is just go like this, bro. Just go like this.
If you think about
it,
if you think about left-handed players, more times than not, they're very left-handed. Think about Ginobili. Ginobili's left hand. Ginobili went downhill with his weak hand. The majority of the time, the ball touched his right hand to go back to the left hand. James Harden goes downhill. The ball stays in his left hand. The majority of left-handed guys are very left-handed. And the reason why they like that is because it's unorthodox. It's hard to cover a left-handed dude. Because now all the principles that you learn as a defender, you got to flip them around. And more times than not, I'm covering a right-hander. So because I'm covering a right-hander, I'm known to play defense like that. When I got to cover a left-hander, now my thinking process has to be totally different. So left-handed guys, they're not gonna move to your strength, which is covering right-handers. They're gonna stay with their strength, which is being left-handed.
Well, chill. This is my thing to that. Now, this might be some science or something that I'm just not hip to. There might be some science I'm ignorant about that I don't know that our brains work where it's different for lefties and righties, right? But I'm right-handed and everything was hard as hell for me to do with my left hand for a while, and then I decided I'm gonna do everything with my left hand. I spent a long time, years, I'm perfecting my left. And I was doing that at a very young age, though. So now, eventually, by the time I get to high school and stuff, my left hand and my right hand are the same thing. I'm calling cat. If you're a lefty and you're saying it's hard, and they're saying it's hard for me to do things on my right hand, that's the same thing for right hand people that have to learn how to do stuff with their left hand. Unless there's some science, wait a minute, Big Oscar. It don't make no sense. I'm talking about specifically basketball, children.
Of course, we're talking about basketball, but we're talking about two different things. There's a difference between me not doing this and not knowing how to do it or being capable of doing it. I think Sabonis is very capable of using his right hand. I think James Harden was very capable of using his weak hand. I think Ginobili was very capable of using his left hand. His right hand. But because this works, and I'm so used to doing it, and how difficult it is for you to cover me as a left-hander, I'm gonna stick with this. It's not that Sabonis at the pro level. I don't think you can give me legit logic that he can't handle with his right hand. He can't make a layup with his right hand.
He could dribble with his right, chill, but he would not spin. He is going to do everything in his power to boom, 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 and then step through and go with the left. He's hitting you so hard, chill. You know this move. I'm hitting you so hard right here, bow, and you kind of come back. I can spin back to the right hand, and that's just all day. Domantas Sabonis, if he would simply spin this way, there would be nothing in front of him. I'm telling you, there's nothing over there. Nobody's over there. He won't go.
Can he shoot with his right hand?
It hurts to watch. He must not.
Well, he refuses to do it.
It's for
those two things are not the same thing, Mars. Those two things are not the same.
Might as well be chill. If you refuse to do it, then you might as well not be able to do it.
It's like, well, Ben Simmons can shoot. He just chooses not to. Like, at some point, you're still providing no value with your right hand because you're refusing to use it. I remember, there was a game. This might be the game where Sengun got injured. We were playing him. He was killing us in the first half because we weren't just playing him to his right. Then the second half comes around. We just say, go ahead, use your right hand, buddy. Couldn't do anything the whole second half. Like, the game plan is really simple for Sabonis. You just be like, go ahead, use your right hand, sir. And then all of a sudden, he's neutralized. Or he's trying to bully you and put you under the rim.
Yeah, a lot of times it still doesn't neutral. Well, most of the time it doesn't neutralize him because he's that strong that he can.
Yeah, he's just gonna bully you. Yeah,
but the percent of the time that it does neutralize him, it's very
really
obvious, and it looks bad. It looks terrible because now Kevin Huerter's not out there. We don't got the same dribble handoff threat like you don't have to, our shooting has without Kevin Huerter, without Malik Monk. Now we don't have to too much worry about the passing, the backdoor cuts and stuff like that now. So now it's kind of like, all right, DeMontis, if you won't go right, bro, man, we're not really worried about you. Like, it takes him out the game, and it's so obvious.
Give me Drake and Noah, man.
No, you're going too far. Well, I mean, I'm not really mad at that because I love Jokic, but I'm not trying to. I'm just saying I don't understand it because I watched him at Gonzaga. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him go right before, and I might be biased to it just because, like, it's always been a thing that I was taught. Like from the beginning when I was playing basketball, my mom, my pops, everybody was really adamant like you have to be able to use both hands. So that's why even when I'm coaching, I'm serious about that, using both hands. I don't understand how you can be a professional basketball player and not be able to use both hands.
You're always more dangerous if you're a threat with both hands. Always, like even if you're great with your left, if you're really good with your right too, you're more dangerous than you were when you're just great with your left. Like Zion would be better if he could also use his right. James Harden would be better if teams couldn't just sit on his step back, go in one direction. Like he was still great, but if he could step back, going left and right, he'd look a lot better. Like things like that, you still look better doing things different ways. Just it gives you more. Like when teams do try to shut off one thing, you still have other things to go to. And that's the issue Sabonis seems to be running into. That when teams shut off one thing, he doesn't have as much to go to. It looks
He too old for that shit. That's
well, kids, you hear it out there. Work on your offhand. All right, 2 is better than 1 in most occasions.
Back in my day.
How many bigs are good with their offhand though?
I think all of them. Well, most of them. I'm saying,
I don't see it. Is Embiid good with his offhand?
I think so.
He'll use it, but he's not like. I mean, I don't think like. I think how good a lot of NBA players are with both hands is like it's not great, especially like some of these guys coming in. Like Zach Edey has no left hand at all, but I mean, lottery picking some people's ass. So like sometimes you can get away with it. It's the same way like when you have freak athletes coming into the league and they never worked on their jumper. They were so unstoppable with their athleticism, they never really needed to do it. And then you get to a level where people can match your athleticism and you realize how flawed you are. Same thing with people with their offhands. If they don't need their offhands for so long, they never develop it. And then they come in and realize, yeah, we kind of need this. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it, I guess.
Yeah, but Chitchat, back in my day, they used to be like, force him right. They used to try to force me right. I'm saying you got to be able to use both hands.
They still do that to this day, though. A lot of NBA players force them to a
there's a lot.
You're less efficient one direction as a step back pull up shooter or whatever.
I'm not no step up pull up shooter.
You're in a shooter. Brick.
All right, it's a good time to tell everybody to go ahead and slap that.
I shoot like Larry Bird.
All right.
Yeah, slap that like button, y'all. Injury. Make sure you go to playback.tv. Join the Players' Choice room. Tonight, it will be Chillin' Ox at 7:15 Eastern Time, watching the Sacramento Kings versus the Boston Celtics. Also, on Playback or on Telegram, we have a group chat where we talk about basketball, football, everything sports, all things sports. We have good debates. We have good casual conversations. We have, it's sentimental moments in there where, we talk about Mars and his Rockets, and we it's the space where he can, debrief and let off some steam if necessary. Ox too, when they take tough L's like they're going to tonight. He's able to come in there and we're able to console him and provide comfort to him. And you guys as well if your teams aren't really doing too well. So I mean, join it. It's a 2-week free trial period. You can come in there, you could test the room, test the waters. If you don't like it, you can get out of there, just like Bronny's about to do after he tests the waters potentially. It's pinned right there at the top of the chat. Y'all go check it out. And while you're doing that too, scan the QR code right there below, swipe it. Go to www.playerschoicemerch.com and you can get you good stuff like this and like some of the other guys have been wearing over this last couple weeks. We got super chats.
Chill, you don't see this. You don't see this obvious sabotage, Chilton.
What's going on?
Like this at the end of the season, you telling me that would have us on a road trip where we play the Knicks and the Celtics on a back-to-back night? Like at the back end of the season, at the last stretch of the season, this is obvious sabotage. Look at our record and look at our schedule and look at the Suns schedule for the last 10 games of the season. and look at the obvious sabotage in comparison to other teams.
They've already played harder schedules to load up the year, though. That's why the records look like they did early on.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about that swipe. I'm talking about the last 10 games of the season, what they're doing with the schedule. Like, like that's crazy. They did that on purpose.
Because it's a conspiracy against the Kings. That's why. Let's call it what it is. It's a
100%.
conspiracy against the Kings.
100%. 100%.
King Shot of 442 said, "Did Chill feel that earthquake? No, did he? Also, how long do you think it'd take my Spurs to be good enough to make the playoffs?" Chill, earthquake.
I did not feel the earthquake. It was up in the tri-state area, so no, I didn't. But
yeah, we caught that live, Chill.
Did you? Really?
Yeah, we were streaming earlier this morning on my show right before this one, and Context was on there. He's up there right now. He was like, "Whoa, hold on." I was like, "Bro, ain't no earthquakes in New York, bro. Stop it."
Yeah, it is. It happened 10 years ago, also in New York. So it's not. It's pretty uncommon, but it's happened before. So, and yeah, I got a call from my best friend. He was like, "Yo, we had an earthquake up here." I'm turning on the TV thinking that the sky was going to be in the water or something like that. I'm like, wait a minute. I want to make sure that that's not going on.
Yo, you said I called you. I did not call you.
I did not say that you called me, sir.
Y'all
best friend called you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you and me, we got a best friend's contract. I didn't know that. Okay, so now I got another best friend. I didn't know that. Okay,
I didn't know that. Doing Swiper
now I got
Alliance is going into playoff time.
Okay, all right. I got another best friend. All right, bet. Welcome to the club. I'm on.
King Shada also asked, "How long do you guys think the Spurs are good enough to make the playoffs?"
The way the West is looking, man. You got Memphis gonna be back next year. Minnesota.
Mars, don't start this, Mars. I'm sick of you. Okay, you know why I'm sick of you, Mars? Because you the same one who now all of a sudden the way the West is. You told me not too long ago that the East has gotten so much better. Number two, your boys was right outside the playoff picture like a week ago. Your boys was right there. Now all of a sudden, the San Antonio Spurs, with arguably the best defensive player in NBA history, can't make one move and actually be in the playoff picture. But because of you talking about how good the West is, now all of a sudden, well, the West is so good. I'm sick of you, Mars. I have had it with you. I am sick of you, Mars.
What did I do to deserve such animosity?
I'm sick of you, Mars.
As I was so eloquently saying, the way the West is right now, Memphis are going to be back next year, healthy, with Jar, Desmond Bain, Jaren Jackson, whoever they draft this year. So they're not going to be a 13 seed. They're going to be right back to somewhere where they were in terms of being a very good team. Minnesota's not going anywhere. Denver's not going anywhere. OKC is not going anywhere. The Clippers have a few question marks in terms of Paul George's free agency. What do they do with James Harden? Obviously, going to the new arena. How healthy is Kawhi? So you maybe might be able to anticipate a Clippers fall off. Although shout out to them for winning last night. Dallas, I don't think is going anywhere. They got Kyrie tied down. Luka Doncic is Luka Doncic. KD's tied down. Bradley Beal's tied down. Devin Booker's tied down. So maybe a whole another year with those three. Phoenix are going to be right there in the mix again, competing for the playoffs and the play-in. The Pelicans aren't going anywhere. The Kings still going to be building with De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis. So are they really going anywhere? The Lakers, you don't know what LeBron's going to do with his free agency. So you might be able to anticipate their fall off. Right. But it's also possible he re-signs and then the Lakers still going to be there. Golden State, probably the most reasonable one to assume a fall off from because of their age and where they are right now. But they still, you never know with Golden State. Houston are going to have another year of development and health with Tyrese and Sengun. Whoever they get in the draft, Steven Adams is going to be there next year. So they're going to be right in the mix. So really, other than Utah and Portland, the rest of the West is going to be trying to compete. That's 13 teams.
How much different? It's tough. How much different, Mars, does Golden State look next season? Now, mind you, before you answer that question, Mars, mind you, so in 2022, we win the NBA championship, which was the best time we had an opportunity to upgrade the roster. We didn't do that. Last season, we get smoked in the second round. This year, we're in a play-in situation where it's possible that we might not make the playoffs. We can't bring this crew back next year. So how much different does this crew look next year in your estimation?
Well, Clay's a free agent. I'm gonna assume they don't let Clay go just because of sentimentality. I assume they probably bring him back on a smaller deal, if I had to guess. Chris Paul's money's not fully guaranteed next year, so you can get that off the books.
Right.
Wiggins is tied down. You probably look to move him. Draymond is tied down. I don't think anyone wants him. But shout out to him for destroying our offense last night. You bring back DP2. You probably try to get off Kevon Looney because this has been a terrible year for Kevon Looney. He needs a rest.
How much is he making?
$8 million.
He might be a backup big somewhere next year.
Probably. Kuminga stays. Moody probably stays. Podziemski stays. Saric will be off the books. TJD will be there still. I don't know how much money that really frees up because I'm pretty sure they have the highest payroll in the league. But just being able to replace Wiggins, Chris Paul, and bring back Clay on a smaller deal, it should open up something for the Warriors to do. I don't know what that means for them to bring in. But I do think they're still going to try and be competitive. So I do still think the West is going to be 13 teams deep, where even if you're the 12th seed, you might have like 37, 38 wins, which is like crazy. But I think that's how the West is going to be.
So to answer the question, or to ask the question again, how many years until Victor Wembanyama's in the playoffs?
Depends on what the Spurs. It depends on what the Spurs build around him. Like,
I think they make
Trae Young is next year. If they just keep with this unit, probably two more years.
Trae Young puts him in the playoffs.
With projecting Wemby,
they don't need Trae Young, no.
Projecting Wemby's progression, and then getting him an elite facilitating guards of any magnitude, but Trae is just like the most common one we hear. They're probably in the play-in at worst, but I'd probably pick them to win the play-in.
Well, I think that they don't need to rush their time.
In how many years?
Next year, if they've got the play.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't make any sense for me to rush their timeline. Like, just build like everybody else does when they're young. Everybody.
I agree with that too, but everyone wants to rush.
Trae Young is young now.
He's like 25, I think. Yeah, but people are asking me, what moves to the Rockets?
Yeah, but like they would have to give up assets, though.
Like sometimes you just gotta go with the process. Like things take time.
The Rockets are in a weird compete now mode, though, and it's
no, they're not. No, they're not wrong. No, they're not.
I'm gonna tell you.
No, they're not.
Okay,
what's happening?
Maybe because maybe you're going to say like Ime wants to win or something.
Keep going.
I was going to say that, and this is just based on things I've been seeing and just quotes that I've been seeing from Ime. I can't remember the exact quote, but he was kind of alluding to like we're trying to win now, but also too I think just with the Fred VanVleet move, the Dylan Brooks move, and then just even trying to trade for Mikal Bridges, that just things like that have shown me that. They believe that they got a good team.
Because Raphael Stone is insane to try to make that trade.
Well, first of all, it's rumors like the Nets were obviously trying to jack up the price on Mikal Bridges. So if I'm not listening to the Nets trying to say that we were offering them Jalen Green and picks, and they said no. That is not true. I do believe we called them about Mikal Bridges. I do believe that's what happened. But them making up that we were offering up Jalen Green and the bunch of picks and they said no is ridiculous because no team would say no to that. So they were lying, but we probably did make the call. It just wasn't the players they.
You don't think they offered that?
Jalen Green a multiple first for Mikal? No, I don't think they offered that because I think
Jalen Green
because if they did offer it, the deal would have been done. There's no way.
I don't think so.
There's no way that trade gets offered and the Nets say no. Like there's no way
for Jalen at the time?
The reason why actually
all of Brooklyn's picks back. I don't forget Jalen Green. Brooklyn getting their picks back. There's no way they say no to that.
I don't know, bro. They might just believe. They might just believe, bro. This is Field of Dreams. They might just believe.
Mars and I
incompetence.
Mars and I went at this Swiper for 20 minutes one day.
Incompetence to that.
I hated the deal.
You have to fire them. Like there's no.
That was a good episode, chill.
Oh yeah, because Mars and I went at this. Mars and I went at this for 20 minutes when this had actually went down, and it was the best deal. I didn't want to do it because I felt like Mars was trying to swindle me, even though it was a great deal. If it came from you, I would have done it. I just didn't want to do it with Mars because I felt like Mars was trying to swindle me. And if you're in the front office in Brooklyn, and at that time, considering what you had given up, all your first round picks, not just all your first round picks, you don't really have anything in terms of a franchise player to say, yo, I'm going to build around Jalen Green and I can get 4 of my 17 ones that I gave up. If I could get 4 of them back, I'm saying no to that. I'm fired as a GM. I'm fired.
You don't even have to value Jalen Green as a prospect at the time because we know how bad he looked. Jalen Green at that point is a throw-in to the fact that you would get your picks back on a tanking team. You would be tanking and have your first round picks. That alone would make you stupid to reject the trade. Just ignoring the fact that there's a 22-year-old young guard with potential that's also in the deal. So I refuse to believe that the Rockets would offer such a trade, because that would be dumb. And I refuse to believe that if that trade was offered, the Nets would say no to it.
But I'm saying you refuse to believe in competence.
Yes, I refuse to believe that Raphael Stone is that.
Like I was strong in what I said earlier. I think that's a little strong to say that a front office refuses to make an incompetent decision. They've done this for the last decade and a half now with the Nets. It's been a decade and a half of them doing this. Starting with the Paul Pierce dedication.
And the Rockets would be even stupider.
And they still got the same juju. They still got the same juju.
Mars, what if it was just a couple picks, though? Would it be more believable if it was like Jalen Green and 2 of those picks?
I still don't think the Nets would say no. Like I know we can call front offices incompetent.
But wait, Toronto turned down the Memphis Grizzlies on the OG deal, though.
At the end of the day, I don't think they're genuinely stupid.
Toronto turned down the OG deal where they could have got at least 3. We know this. It was widely reported 3 first-round picks with OG because they just did not think that at the time that was worth that. They got trade offered for Pascal, and then they had to settle what they got for this deal they got with Indiana. So, like I'm saying, like this happens where you can hold on for too long. I mean,
you do understand that the reason why they turned that down wasn't because of the player fit. So not only do they lose their threes, they lose all 3 of their ones. OG comes off the books after this year, which means that they could lose him too. Why am I doing that?
Because the reason I'm saying it's not just like, oh, I feel this way. It's like Houston reporters have come out and said Houston called about Mikal Bridges. They've never said that Jalen Green was offered. Now you might say that's them protecting their players, whatever. They've never said that. They never even said any trade package was offered. They said they called about Mikal Bridges, and the Brooklyn Nets came out and said that Houston offered Jalen Green and picks. Obviously, one of these franchises is lying. I'm choosing to believe that no team would be dumb enough to offer Jalen Green and a bunch of picks for Mikal Bridges. And B, the Nets wouldn't be dumb enough to say no to said trade. So I'm of the belief that Houston called them asking about Mikal Bridges. The Nets said what they wanted and Houston said no.
But we've seen some terrible trades in recent memory, though, I guess. Like
I've heard the things that Brooklyn have said they've turned down for Mikal Bridges. I think they lied about a bunch of the things they've turned down already. And I think they lied about what Houston offered them. I think they've been trying to jack up the price of Mikal Bridges by acting like he has more value than he does, by saying the things they've rejected. And I don't think they've been offered the stuff that they said they rejected.
That's fireable offense, Mark. That's a fireable offense.
Came out and said that they called about Mikal Bridges. They never said they offered Jalen Green and a bunch of picks. The only team that said that Jalen Green and a bunch of picks was offered is the Nets. The only people who have reported that is the Nets. They're the ones saying it. And what do I think the Nets want to do? Show that Mikal Bridges is a lucrative asset. So of course they're going to try up the price on it.
I'm not saying that it happened. I'm saying that if you're telling me that incompetence at that level could be had in the NBA, I would say absolutely, 1,000%. A lot of these people are not very good at their job.
We gotta move on. I know we gotta move on. But we're talking about 2 non-playoff teams right now. We gotta move on.
Because not everything in life is about skill. It's not about skill.
How are you that dizzy? How are you that dizzy?
We're talking about 2 non-playoff teams and 2 non-all-stars right now, fellas. Come on, we got to move on to more important things.
Oh, wow.
Alan L said, no L Ox today. He's been through enough. Also, 150 people pulled up to watch Mars cry last night. It was amazing. L-Dub.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We got a Golden State Houston playback with like 150 people just watching me sit there in silence as Klay Thompson. I'm not even gonna say what he did to my team. I'm just saying Klay Thompson. Like, it was just sad, man.
You heard what you be talking about anymore.
Shouldn't have been talking.
No, the thing is, before the game started, I said Klay Thompson gonna give us 50. Like, he just be cooking us. I don't know what it is. He'd be cooking.
I don't know what it is.
Last season, he averaged like 35 against us. Like, he just be cooking us. He stay washed for 76 games a year, but he plays Houston 3 times, 4 times, and cooks us every time. But it's cool. Shout out to the Warriors, man. Handle business. Couldn't miss a 3. Shout out to them.
MP13 said, forget all that. Mars, how's your mental health? Steph's shooting like shit every game for the last 2 months, and then he makes everything last night.
It was unfortunate, man. I mean, Golden State just couldn't miss from 3 in like the first 3 quarters, and then we threw in the towel already in the 4th. Like we had a back-to-back. We play Miami tonight, so I do think that's probably part of it, is why we just threw in the towel. But for the first 3 quarters, they just couldn't miss, and it was just, if you watch the playback, you know they just couldn't miss. I was demoralized, and then I was believing that eventually they're gonna cool off. We'll get back in the game. Just never cooled off. It is what it is. But I mean, it was a good fight. We battled for the play-in. We made it close, and then we fell off towards the end. Ime said that we were soft, basically, and that people like were afraid of the moment. Not a huge fan of him saying that to like the media. Like instead of saying it to, he probably did say it to the players too. Because
he's in his Doc Rivers bag right now.
I don't like it. Similar to how I didn't like what Doc Rivers did, but the reason I think is different with Ime is because this is a team that's lacked any sort of accountability for 3 years that Silas was
Right.
So this like is a different what's the word I'm looking for? Different like situation's not the word I'm looking for, but
it's different. It's a different approach. 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
like,
so it's okay. No, that's crazy.
No,
From both of y'all, from Mars, you and from both of y'all.
The first thing I said,
Y'all just hate on Doc Rivers, bro. Y'all just hating on Doc Rivers.
The first thing I just said was I still don't like him coming out and saying it to the
Okay.
media.
You did say that, but then you made it.
But I can
not do that.
It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's me saying I can see how a team that has lacked structure and accountability might require that level of approach more than a team that has had playoff success in the past, more than a team that has a bunch of vets on it who probably don't need to be called out in the media. That's why I'm saying it's different. Now, would I prefer Ime instead of saying, oh, some players just look like deers in headlights and they didn't want it, instead of maybe saying like him taking some accountability himself and be like, I didn't get the guys ready, we could have done this. Like, would I prefer that? Sure. But do I understand why it's different between Doc Rivers and Ime? Also, yes. But I do think there were some guys who were playing particularly soft. I don't think that's him lying. Right. And I'm not gonna lie, Dylan Brooks, you meant to be a veteran leader on this team. What are you doing? I think he been a problem for a while now. Dylan Brooks been a problem for a while. I think he's meant to bring the toughness. But I'm gonna be honest, other than just occasionally getting texts, he's not bringing much toughness. If I'm honest, Jabari's defense wasn't very good last night. Fred was doing his disappearing act. Jalen wasn't very good last night. Like it just wasn't a good night at all. So, and Amen Thompson went down with an injury. We don't know how serious that is, but it wasn't good. It was bad.
So Ox, you're seeing this woman, and this woman that you're seeing when you walk into the house. Kids is swinging on the ceiling fan. You got food all over the place. The house is a mess. You come in there, these kids are running around like they nuts. Her bills ain't been paid. She got the dough to do it, though, by the way. Her bills ain't been paid. All of this stuff is a mess. You come in there and you clean this up. In the process of you cleaning this up, you go to her family. In addition to telling her, you need to get it together. You also tell her family, your daughter is doing this, and I think that this was too big for her. Is that out of line to do that?
Is it out of line to
tell
the family?
Is that out of line?
Yes, you probably. I probably wouldn't be talking to her family
because there was no structure, nothing going on when you walked in that house. The windows was broken, everything around here was flipped over. Now all of a sudden you come in and you cleaning this whole thing up. And in the process of you cleaning this up, you telling her about herself too, and them badass kids, not just her, them badass kids. You telling them about them too, and then people asking you, like her family is asking you, "Yo, how y'all doing?" Because she looks cleaner, she looks a lot better. The kids look more disciplined. But then what happens? You take them out somewhere, and they badasses get into something. So what do you say? You know what? I maybe shouldn't have took these kids out because this might have been too much for them right now. I ain't saying I ain't never gonna take them out again. But I probably shouldn't have took them out here because this might be a little bit too much. I probably shouldn't have took them to Disney World. Maybe I should have just took them to the park because this might be too much for them.
Yo, chill. Where they daddy at? Why I got to take them to Disneyland?
You they pops because that's who Ime is. Ime is the one who walked in the house. Wasn't no food in the refrigerator. Kids swinging from the damn ceiling fan. Flour all over the kitchen. Everything was all over the place. He came in and cleaned it up. They've well exceeded expectations this season. I think Mars. I think you had him at 35 wins.
That's at 35 wins, then I'll be.
Yeah, I think you had him at 35 wins before the season started. They look like they're going to win 40 plus games this year, and they missed the playoffs, but they aren't far away. And all Ime Udoka did is called out his people, All he did was call out his people, but it's not the same thing as Doc because Doc stayed throwing you under the bus. Everything is everybody else's fault. Now, don't get me wrong. Doc has some accountability on not everything. I'll take that back. Not everything is Doc. Not everything is everybody else's fault. But Doc definitely will tell other people about what you're doing wrong. Let's make sure we clear on that. He will make sure that you know this ain't all my fault. This dude is doing this. This dude is doing that. So let's make sure we clear on that.
So Chill, what you're saying is if I pull up to the crib and instead, and so she don't got some little crumb crushers, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no 2-3-year-olds running around, but she got some 15, 16-year-old kids in here. They smoke a weed in their garage, smoke a weed in their house, and all types of stuff. That I'm not supposed to say nothing because they older? Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I want y'all to hold Ime Udoka as accountable as you hold Doc.
No, but the difference is Doc Rivers is Doc Rivers is what? No, Doc Rivers is watching it happen. Doc Rivers is watching them do all of those
American
things.
To you, Mars.
No,
this is some American
what's happening?
Right
no,
now,
the reason
Mars.
is different. Doc Rivers is watching them do all those things. He's just laying back in his little lounge chair, watching it happen, saying absolutely nothing as it happens, and then he'll go out and then tell the families, "Oh yeah, this was really happening." I mean, I'm watching it happen, doing nothing as it's happening, but I'm gonna tell you about it. So, but that's what he's doing. As he said, just sitting there, just taking notes. He said, "I'm observing, taking notes." This guy's doing this. This guy's doing that. Instead of me saying to them they need to fix up, I'm gonna go tell their families, "Hey, this is what they're really doing when you're not around." But you were there watching it happen, doing nothing as it was happening. Ime at least keeps the same energy towards his players and to the media. And the players have also said, another reason is different. The players have also said they want to be coached like that. Sengun said it. Jalen Green has said it. Jalen Green's been working tirelessly with the coaching staff. If you keep up with the Houston Rockets reports, all throughout the season, he's been working with the coaching staff about how he can work on his game, how he can improve. He's calling them after bad games, or what did I do wrong? What do I need to improve at? What do I need to see here? He's been doing that throughout the season. So they want that level of accountability. The Bucks players, I mean, we saw Dame got subbed out late in game for offense defense. He goes to Doc Rivers after the game. Nah, don't do that again. Don't do that again. I need to be on the court at these late in games. Now, I think Dame has too much ego because I'm gonna be honest, I'd rather you not on the court for defense situations. But now, guess what? Doc Rivers now defers to him. Yeah, Dame's now on the court, close games on defense. He probably shouldn't be, but that's just how it is when you got vets on the team. You kind of coach them differently.
Well, I get what you're saying, Morris, and that's fair. This is my main point. What I'm really saying is, yesterday we was all about keeping in-house business in-house. We didn't say let's keep it in-house unless we talked about it in-house, and now we share it to the world. When it's keep it in-house, let's keep it in-house. I thought we all agreed that
I actually did say yesterday my biggest problem was that he was bringing it to the media without bringing it to his players. I actually did say you can go.
Yeah, no, 100%. But I'm saying, like, I thought we agreed that it's best when kept in house. Now all of a sudden,
I still do think that. I still think it's better if he didn't bring it to the media. But I can understand why he would do it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to nitpick. I just hate to see Doc Rivers catch hell and nobody else catch.
Really quick, Ron, if I may. And you disagree with everything I say, dude.
Oh my God.
You don't disagree with some things I say. You disagree with everything I say. You want to talk about somebody being weird? That's you, dude. And you the same one who told in the chat, you said, quote, I wouldn't hang with Chill if my life depended on it. Your chick about to have a baby. So with your chick having a baby, you would rather die than hang with me than actually raise your family. You obviously aren't that smart. You clearly aren't that smart. It bugs me out the stuff that comes out of your mouth when you talk about other people. You clearly aren't that smart. Obviously, you're not.
All right, y'all. We got more super chats. Let me go ahead and shout out the members right now. Bola Boy 23, Paris and Kai, Kobayashi
Maru, Star Trek. Is that what I'm hearing? Kobayashi Maru from Star Trek from not the Edge of Darkness. It's from the first one where Captain Kirk has not yet become captain of the ship. But Kobayashi Maru.
Shout out.
What was he before he was the captain?
He actually, his father died. His father died on the original. Sorry, I'm nerd out real quick. His dad died saving a crew of 800 people for 5 minutes, and then he was living with his mother. And then the original captain of the Enterprise came and found him when he was young, like 19, and found him because he got in a bar fight, and then brought him onto the ship, in which he learned how to be a captain. He said, "I'll do it in 5." Kirk said, "I'll do it in 3," and he basically did it in 1. So it's a great movie. And then there's a three set movies that you can watch that you can literally find on YouTube for free right now.
Modest Review also became a member. Shout out all of our new members. all of our new subscribers, if you haven't become a member yet, what you waiting for? Go ahead and do that. Yo, Damo, what it is?
Pass that.
What up? You know I will chill.
Pass that, brother. What up?
How y'all doing?
What up, Damo?
What up?
What up, best friend? Best friend is crazy. Best friend is crazy.
All right, we got more super chats. Before we go ahead and get into the good old topic of the show, box score watching Wayne said Mars belt to ass.
Yep. Nice.
Splash Brothers pulling out them good old belts like the old days, huh?
Oh yeah, that did happen.
Yes, yes, sir, did.
I told you not to mention my name to the media. Sorry, Easton.
That's tough. And he didn't even play. Like you gotta you sitting there with the Warrior shirt on, down 20. I'd have took it off. I took it off. You can't wear that shirt, man. What?
Yo, you know there's a rule. There's a rule in hoop. If we on the same team, right? I'm guarding this person, you're guarding that person. You don't talk to him, okay? Especially if you know who your killer. Don't talk to him. I'm guarding him. Talk to your man. Don't talk to him unless you're gonna come get some of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with this. You don't. So you sitting on that bench. I don't care why. You hurt, whatever it may be. You suspended. You hurt. Any reason. You don't got to deal with this. You shut your mouth. Simple. If you're not guarding him, you're not gonna come take this fade. Don't say nothing, bro. Don't say nothing.
You ever had a moment? You ever had a moment when a teammate did that, like to you, like in the game, any game, like teammates just start barking at the wrong tree?
More so, but I used to kind of do that too. But my thing is, I'm getting a. It's different though, Damo, because I'm getting a piece of everything. So, but we had that rule though. No, we had that rule based on that. I had a teammate that did that, and because we was playing. And y'all know, shout out Sammy Yeager. He's a legend in the North Cal. He gave my man 36, but dude on the bench is like talking to him. We like, bro, you can't do that, bro. You not.
Cut it up.
That's Sammy Yeager. So don't say nothing to him. Stay. You know what I'm saying?
Cut it up.
And so you know.
Be quiet.
Yeah. But, I mean, to answer your question, Damo, yeah, it's happened, but not really to me. And I'm not really tripping. I want you to talk to my man. I'm trying to get this thing going. So
see, no, you're the worst. You're the worst.
MP13 with another super chat said, how many more outlandish sound bites do we need before we could just admit there's a percentage of the NBA media that's just xenophobic? That Arenas take about Jokic from yesterday was just disgusting.
Yo, I realized I can't even watch that show for real, depending on what they're talking about. If they're talking about any European player, I'm not watching the show. I'm not going to watch the clip because they're blatantly xenophobic. And I like to just say racist. This is all racist with me, but they're blatantly xenophobic. And it's not even funny.
Wait a minute, Damo. You are the epitome of listening and paying attention. You are the epitome of that. So with that being said, with what Gilbert Arenas said, when he said statistically and the fact that they were the 6th seed, right? They were the 6th seed and they won, and he won the league MVP. The fact that he won it, is it ridiculous what he said?
It's ridiculous. Because he brought up a bunch of stuff that wasn't true, no context added, especially the first one with the 2021 season with Giannis, saying they didn't want to give him 3 in a row, and they dropped from the 1st seed to the 3rd seed, and he was worse than the year before. There's reasons why. And then Jamal also missed the last 24 games of that year. They went they had like a 13-5 stretch or whatever that was, and then Jokic was going nuts. And then Embiid also finished over Giannis too, and Embiid would have finished over Giannis anyway. He only played 51 games that year. So Giannis got passed up by 2 players and has since been passed up by at least 2 players since that year in a regular season context. So he said a lot of things that were crazy. Even using the overall like 10 seeds. I've never heard that MVP argument in my life.
I'm just thinking about statistically when he talked about what Joker did. Now, I'm not a fan of Joker winning the league MVP as the 6th seed, because I thought about the first guy I thought about was Jordan in 88 and 89, which I thought he had a better season, and he sniffed the league MVP that year. He didn't sniff it, and he actually had a better year. But with that being said, statistically, statistically, when he says that it might have been the worst 6 seed,
no,
I mean,
no, he wasn't talking about that. He said statistically it's the worst MVP because in his brain, he averaged 27, 14, and 8, whereas Jason Tatum averaged 27, 8, and 5, as he referenced as the first seed. Why does Tatum not get more MVP love that year, which he says she should have won, which he has no context clues to what he's talking about, because Tatum wasn't even great enough that year to be in the conversation. The conversation was Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis. Tatum was never in the convo, and Embiid was a 4 seed, Giannis was a 3 seed, and both of them have healthy rosters, and they have 3 more wins.
I think that's his problem, Swipe. He wants to know why wasn't Jason Tatum in that conversation.
Well, Jason Tatum is not that kind of player.
I'm not going to say Jason Tatum's not that type of player.
Devin Booker, Damo, he was 64 wins. Go ahead.
I would just say, for me, once you say get all the Euros out the league, you can say anything that makes sense. I'm just going to not listen. You xenophobic. So you can be absolutely right. I'm still not going to listen to you because I know where this is coming from. But when he says statistically, it's crazy to me because he says statistically, it was the worst and this, that, and the third, and he brings up stats that don't matter. When in reality, and Swiper, correct me if I'm wrong, because listen, I'm an advanced stat casual. I admit it. Was the years Jokic won this MVP, when it came to advanced analytics, was he not making records?
Yeah, he basically had this, in 22. He basically had the same season that Jabal had,
and he broke records. He set records, broke records, did things we've never seen statistically, advanced stats wise.
That's raw data.
So him saying statistically it was the worst. No. He was just lying. He blatantly lied.
The worst statistical year was Derrick Rose, just because it's not Steve Nash. People keep bringing up Steve Nash. It was Derrick. In his overall numbers, but Steve Nash was fine. Steve Nash was the number 1 offense ever. So, like, I think this whole xenophobia thing is true. But I also want to correct this. What I don't like is what, and so also, black people. I say consider the black people can't be racist because that's just like a race. That's a power thing. Like, you can be biased, you can have bigoted and all that other stuff. But like racism is a structure and it's built to support white supremacy. Anyway, that's another conversation. I think the issue I have with all this
conversation, black people. I know a lot of racist black folks.
Well, I'm saying, but like you can't actually infrastructurally use like your bias in the same way. That's what I'm saying.
Is black people out here with power?
No, but white supremacy.
Can we get back to Jokic?
Anyway, yeah. No, first off, Mars, you relax over there. This is America.
Having a conversation who can be racist.
So I think some of this is that I think the issue is every time they bring up Europe, they only talk about white boys. Giannis is European. Rudy Gobert is European. Joel Embiid could represent France if he wanted to. He could also qualify as a European, even though obviously he's from Africa. There's plenty of black players, Tony Parker, that are European, that are all good in the league. And so I think Boris Diaw, I think this whole thing is like they keep centering white boys in Europe. And I'm sitting here wondering, like, one, I know Brandon Jennings and McCants and Gill, and I hit up Josiah the other day, so just want to, full disclosure about this particular thing. But I think some of this is like they lack so much context and education around a lot of this stuff, and what they're saying is so like dangerous because of what it does to the cycle and it does to the content as a whole. Like the idea of getting rid of Europeans, or even just talking about like the Europeans have made the game soft when the best players in the game are all international right now.
Terrible conversation. Terrible. When he said that, that went in one ear and out the other. Now, as far as the analytics, and you guys are definitely more advanced analytics than I am. I do my best to keep up with you guys, but the one advanced analytic stat from Joker in the 2022 season, not the VORP, Mars. No, not the VORP. No, it wasn't the VORP. The one thing that stood out to me the most, more than anything, Mars, I don't know if you know this, but in the 21-22 season when he won the league MVP, did you know that Joker was responsible for 35.5% of their defensive rebounding? Just so you know, Mars, Rodman never did that. Jabal never did that. Lajuan never did that. Shaq never did that. That means 1 out of every 3 rebounds that we're getting on the defensive end, on average, is from Joker. That has never happened. They weren't tracking that back when Chamberlain and Russell were playing, and I'm pretty sure that it probably would have been them. But in the modern era, when they started tracking it, Jabal, can't say that. Shaq, Lajuan, Mutombo, Dennis Rodman, who that was his actual job. He led the league in rebounding for 7 years, and at no point when he was in Detroit or in Chicago was he ever responsible for a third of Chicago's defensive rebounding. That's never happened.
How many of those rebounds were contested? Come on, how many of those rebounds were contested?
I think they made a point about like Luka being the next MJ. Like I've never heard that comparison before. Luka has started off the favorite 3 different times in the offseason to be the MVP. Has never won the MVP. He's not going to win the MVP again this year, averaging 34, 9, and 9. So like even this whole notion with like Luka, it's like he's being talked about like they're propping him up. I'm like there was one person in the straw poll that voted him number 1 like, as an MVP in first place. It's like, so even with all that, and then also this other thing, I'll end here. Kenyon Martin, who I love, obviously. People keep saying Giannis is the new LeBron. He's just getting excluded from the MVP conversation. Giannis isn't playing well and better than more people in the league now. That's the problem. The competition at the top of the league is fierce. Giannis has not been better than multiple players in any regular season run since that 2018-19 season, and that is a part of the conversation. You could even put Embiid in the regular season. You could say Giannis is better overall in the playoffs, but in a regular season, it's been Embiid, it's been Jokic, and now it's SGA, and now it's Luka, and again, they're 500 over like the last 32 games with Giannis on the court. So, like, I think like there's this whole thing, this notion, how can you be in the same age group as another player and you getting LeBron treatment and a dude keep winning MVPs while you win your prime? That don't make no sense to me.
All right, y'all. It's about that time to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers.
Here we go. Look at this streak right here
that they've entered into. The Lakers have won 10 out of their last 13 games. They're currently on a 3-game winning streak. They're trending upwards. I got to ask you guys, how are you feeling about the Lakers getting hot at the right time? And what does this mean for the playoffs? Also, the Lakers do have a shot at possibly stealing the 6th seed too. They're only 2 games behind the Phoenix Suns, or a game and a half actually. So I do want to talk about that, us talking about their chances to get in. But right now, how do we feel about the Lakers and them getting hot right now?
Damo, what's up with that sour push, yo? That's what I want to know. What's the story, Damo? Because I don't like your attitude right now. I don't like your attitude, and I don't like that face right now on you. What's the problem, Damo? Can't hear you, Damo. Can't hear you.
The answer is no, Mars.
I'll say, chill. I've said it once, and I'll say it a million times, man. I do not care for talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. I've already petitioned to give up some of the airtime to talk about other teams that deserve to be talked about more. Because this conversation, no matter what the context is, it has the same outcome. If you're a Laker fan, you're optimistic, pessimistic, you're thinking too high or too low of the team. And if you don't like the Lakers, oh, why are we talking about the Lakers? Oh, the Laker media cartel. And there's no truth to anything that the Lakers can do. You're not going to believe in the Lakers. If you didn't believe in them then, you're not going to believe in them now. What's the point of talking about it? For me personally, though, Ron, to answer your question, because I'm not going to be like that. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to be honest. Call it delusion. Call it crazy. Call it what you want. If LeBron and AD is healthy, we're winning a championship. That's it. I said it last year. I said it the year before that. I said it the year before that. I said it the year we won. And I'm going to keep saying it. As long as my GOAT and my Brown are healthy, I like our chances to get anybody. Lakers in 6.
Mars, you're not going to get him the way you get me. And the way you got Dion. All right, it's all good.
What do you want me to say?
Well, he chose them last year and the year before that and the year before that and the year before that.
Yeah, and he's been wrong every year. That wasn't 2020. Well, they weren't healthy in a couple of those years. He said if they were healthy. So I don't know. Were they healthy last year? Because he might bring up the Bron foot injury. You're muted. I'm assuming you're talking about the Bron foot injury.
We heard about LeBron's foot injury after the series.
So technically, every year they've been healthy, they've won a championship. They've just been healthy once.
Exactly.
All right.
And AD wasn't really that healthy in the playoffs in 2020. He was pretty beat up.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's not good for the narrative.
I think I've said. I mean, well, I think Denver's probably the best team in the West, but I only see a few teams that can win the West. OKC, I think, is one of them. Dallas, and I think the Lakers have an outside shot. I don't think they're going to win it, but I think it was those four. I don't think anyone else has much realistic chance.
Chilltown, how do you feel about the Lakers right now and them getting hot at this time of the year? Is this a sign for what's going on what's going to go on in the playoffs?
1-8 of their last 9 games. They've done a good job in managing James throughout the course of the season. People think that because he's been quote unquote load managing that it's bad for the game, when in reality he's old, so they have to manage him this way. He can't play 82 games every night, and he can't play every night and consistently be on the floor because he's going to break down because he's old. That's just part of it. But I feel like they're in a really good groove right now. And that's largely due to Anthony Davis playing the way Anthony Davis plays on the defensive side of the basketball. I think Damo brought up a really good point, which I have now come to accept, that Anthony Davis is a defender who can score. Those two things are not the same. Being a scorer who can defend. No, he's a defensive player who can score. So what I expect him to be is an elite defender. And when he gets buckets, that's extra. When he's 29, when he's 32, that's extra. But if I get him glass cleaning the way he does, when I get him rim protecting the way he does, when I get him man in the paint the way he does, that's expected of him. And I expect him to go deep into the playoffs if he's doing that. If he's doing that in addition to scoring, that's even that means that they're even better, because the other stuff, that means that D'Angelo Russell is rolling. That means that Austin Reeves is rolling. That means all of these other guys are actually rolling because he's putting them in a position defensively for them to be better offensively, whether it's speeding up the game, whether it's getting these guys in transition, stuff like that. So I've come to accept that more today than I did in the past. And I have to admit that from Damo, that Damo brought that to my attention, and watching Anthony Davis more, that I've accepted that. Even though I knew it, it was something that I didn't accept back then, because he even told us that in 2012 in the national championship when he went 1 for 10, when he told us, you guys score the rest of the points, I'll block all the shots, get all the rebounds. That's actually who he is. This is who he is and what he's about. So when he gets to the pros and he actually develops a jump hook, he develops a jump shot, that doesn't negate that I'm still a defensive force, and I've always been this. Now, I'm never going to be Olajuwon. I'm never going to be Shaq on the offensive end. But you know what I am going to be? I'm always going to be elite on the defensive end. And if he's that, and he can continue to be that, and just give them a consistent 20+, that's extra. And I feel like they can make. I feel like they can make a lot of noise in the Western Conference.
Thank you so much, Jill. That I feel vindicated with him saying that. It was a lot of fights on this panel and in this chat about that very topic. I'm glad now people are finally starting to see that I know what I'm talking about with my Lakers. Between Darvin Ham, between Anthony Davis, who ironically this whole year been pretty quiet on the conference. I haven't heard people calling him soft no more. Kind of crazy. That just kind of died out. The whole soft narrative.
I seen somewhere it was like he played like 90% of his last 100 games.
But
I mean, that would be like 90 something.
I mean, it's crazy, but it's ironic, because if we did hear certain people saying he's soft, the chat would echo it. But now, because no one is screaming it to him, no one's echoing it. Like, no one cares anymore to talk about him now that it's not being screamed and shouted at him. That's super ironic.
I want to say this about that, Damo, because I want to go on record and saying I had AD back from the beginning of this season. When there was people saying that he was playing bad and he could play better, and then when those people saying, well, he's not going to play better because this is just who he is, I was like, AD is balling. I don't know what y'all are looking at right now. Why are we making excuses for AD like he's not getting busy? I was saying that earlier. Now, just to get it off my chest real quick, I don't got the energy to head on the Lakers today. I'm going through my own things. You know what I'm saying? I don't got time for that. The Lakers are going to be dangerous to any of the younger teams. OKC, Minnesota. I don't see him winning the championship, just because, like I said earlier, I don't think Bron got the tank like that anymore. And as good as I think AD is, I'm not sure if he'll be able to carry the load, especially, let's say, if they see Denver again, like Western Conference Finals. You got to have Bron got to play Denver early, I think. I don't think he got the tank to deal with Denver in the later rounds. That's the main reason I don't see the Lakers being able to win another championship. But if somebody took care of Denver for them and they didn't have to see Denver late, then maybe we could talk about it. But they're not going to beat the Celtics. So there's that. But hey, I mean, shout out to good basketball. I might hate the Lakers, but I love good basketball. And good basketball trumps hate for any team every time. So shout out to good basketball, though. I love to watch that. So shout out to them.
I think they've done a real good job, and D'Angelo Russell's confidence is through the roof right now, especially how James is looking for him. And we don't talk about this nearly as much, neither, Damo, where I've seen plenty of times where James would hit D'Angelo Russell. Russell would give him the ball back, and James would throw the ball right back to him. Go after him. Don't worry about me. I'm going to get involved. I'm going to get mine. Go after him. And that's just a confidence booster for a guy like D'Angelo Russell, for a guy like Austin Reeves. Not only that, I feel like at this point of the season, I feel like they're probably as healthy as they're going to be. And I mean, I think if Darvin Ham can just continue to keep this team afloat and not get in the way, still coach, but not get in the way, and let these guys do what they're doing and just make minor adjustments, which I think he's capable of doing, I think they'll be fine. I don't think that they're winning the NBA championship. I'm not going to go that far, but I feel like they can make another deep playoff run.
Fuck the Lakers,
man. There it is. I knew we couldn't go without saying it. Come on, man.
So we done with the Lakers now? We done?
I would love to be done with the Lakers. What do you mean I refuse to hold him accountable? I always hold this nigga accountable. Y'all are talking to the nigga that told y'all, hey, when it comes to the Lakers, if he's not our best defender, he's not doing his job. That's me. Whenever he's not being the best defender on the court, I'm saying he's not doing his job. When we got swept, I literally said, yo, he can't stop Joker. He's not doing his job. It's tough. No one can stop him. But nigga, he's not being himself. That's who he is. I was being told he was supposed to be fucking Kevin Garnett. He's supposed to be Hakeem. He's supposed to be all these other niggas. I was told that, and that was the expectation that Clowns Jigaboos was sitting here pushing in the chat the entire episode. That's what y'all was doing. Y'all tap dancing monkeys when your king was sitting here saying, "Oh, this big man and this big man and this big man." Racist, right? That's the conversation.
Monkeys.
That's what you niggas was talking about. Now niggas want to say I'm bugging.
That's why it's not racist, though. He said
this is the first time he's played like this. Man, shut up, man. Shut the hell up.
He'd say that with no melanin too. I can see it.
Oh, niggas kill me, man.
I'm still trying to get a satisfactory answer on what xenophobia is. Still,
xenophobia is racism, but international.
It's not racism. It's racism is a structure. It's a never mind. We'll talk about this all. We'll do player's choice history. 1492. Blooming.
Damo. Clown Jigaboos.
Tap dancing monkeys. All I see I can hear the chat. All I hear when I look at
this is
a
crazy.
Bunch of jigaboos.
What if JD was saying this right now?
Of mud
or
buddies.
Jalen was saying
That's
this
what
right
now.
I'd like a lot more if JD was saying it. It'd feel less racist.
You know what? Nah. Let's really get racist. Y'all moon crickets. That's what y'all are. Y'all a bunch of moon crickets in the chat. How about that? I
don't endorse any of this. I don't endorse
Damo, they're well done now. They're well done.
The thoughts of Damo are of Damo.
I do not endorse any of this, chat.
They are well done, Damo. We'll leave them alone. But Mars, how are you feeling about the Lakers' uptick right now?
I think they've been a good team for the majority of the season. I think what happened was they had that stretch after the in-season tournament where they couldn't win a game, and that's kind of like affected their seeding. They were pretty good before that, and like during the in-season tournament run, then they fell off during that little post in-season tournament stretch, and they've just been stuck in the 9 seed ever since. I'm not like obviously every game counts, so it's all 82, so their seeding is what it is, but without that, I don't know how many games it was, maybe 10, 15 games where they just didn't look good. They've been one of the 5 best teams in the conference damn near the whole time. So
do you think if they get the 8 seed and Wolves are 1 seed, you feel pretty confident at Mars?
Without Cat, I mean, yeah, I think Cat offers like a level of Like, he just brings a new dynamic offensively that the Lakers would have to counter. But if you don't have to deal with that, no disrespect to Naz Reid, because Naz Reid absolutely killed my team a couple of days ago. But I still do think it presents a different matchup. Also, Rudy Gobert's still going to be on the floor offensively. So, I mean, I'm not very high on Minnesota. Like, I think they can win a series, depending on who they play. But generally speaking, I wouldn't be surprised if they go home in round one, regardless of who they play. Just 'cause their offense is just not very good to me.
Man, that would be tough. That'd be tough.
And why are we in
the West is just tough. Like, I don't think like losing in round one this year, like, are the Timberwolves really just a better team than the Lakers or the Pelicans just because they're the number one seed? Like, I don't think like all these matchups, like, they're interesting to me. Like, the only team that would like shock me if they lost in round one is like OKC. Not OKC, Denver. I mean, Denver. If Denver lost in round one, I'd be shocked. But like everyone else is like, they're pretty evenly matched. The conference has like 10 teams that could legitimately make runs.
Right.
Like, well,
that's why
the Warriors 19.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Mars, because that leads me to my next question, specifically the Swiper. As tough as the Western Conference is, why are we just so confident that Jamal Murray is just going to come back into the lineup and this thing is just going to roll? This guy's been in and out of the lineup the entire season. And with him being in and out of the lineup the entire season, that throws off chemistry, that throws off.
They have to play Reggie Jackson.
Right? They got to play. Not only do they have to play Reggie Jackson, Mars, they also got to play Reggie Jackson. Not just Reggie Jackson, but Joker has to come off the floor. He can't play every minute of every game. So now both of them are off the floor. They look way different with both of them off the floor. When they're both there, one of them is off the floor. Joker's on the floor, Murray's off the floor. Murray's on the floor, Joker's off the floor. So why are we, when we talk about Joel Embiid and we talk about injuries to guys like Kawhi Leonard, why are we so, why are people so sure that when Jamal Murray comes back, this is just going to be a silky segue right back into where they were last year, considering what he's been doing?
Because once you've won, you're invincible until you lose.
That's
same thing with the Bucks. Same thing in 2021. Everyone had the Bucks winning in 22 because, you know, once you win, it's like you're the favorites regardless of what happens.
Well, they had legitimate injuries, so I think.
Yeah, I'm not arguing against it. I'm just saying that's how it tends to go.
I think the Nuggets in particular, they're 40-13 when Jokic and Maul play this year, which is a 75% win percentage, which is good for 62 games, game win pace. I think some of this is Jamal's healthy to play now. They just don't want him to pick up any more shin or ankle or whatever injuries.
They're managing him.
They've also been, I think some of this too, Chill. They've been playing together since 2016. So like, there's not like a,
Swipe. I'm sorry. Can I just cut in real quick and I'm gonna give it right back to you. I just want to call Chilton out real quick. If that's okay with you. Because you just said that they're managing Jamal Murray. They're just making sure he doesn't get any more shin splints or anything like that before the playoffs. Why is that acceptable, but it's not acceptable with Kawhi Leonard? Because when I said that yesterday, Chilton, you had such an issue with that. I don't understand how come you could you're just fine with that. Like, Jamal Murray hasn't tore his ACL before. Like, Jamal Murray's not injury prone. Jamal Murray is very injury prone.
Right. So with that being said,
why are you so biased towards Kawhi Leonard?
Because Kawhi Leonard's history is not nearly the same as Jamal Murray's history. Those two things are not the same.
But Jamal missed the whole season. He tore his ACL. He missed. Jamal Murray is injury prone.
Right, but he's not injury prone like Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard not only has missed a whole season, he's missed way more time than Kawhi Leonard. He's actually missed the playoffs more than once. This season right now, what are we dealing with? We're dealing with him being out of the lineup because of knee soreness, which is the same thing that happened last year, which could cost them the playoffs again, as opposed to Jamal Murray, who, by the way, I feel like it's the same thing with him, but I don't feel like the injury extension is the same, off the strength that he hasn't missed nearly enough time. He doesn't have the issues that Kawhi Leonard and it hasn't cost his unit as much as Kawhi Leonard has.
But Kawhi played 70 games this year.
He did play 70 games this year. And not only did he play 70 games this year, we're having the same problem that we had last year. That's why he's sitting down. And ultimately, what did it do? It cost him the rest of the season, because in the playoffs, he wasn't able to play because of this same problem that we had last year. We didn't have this problem with Jamal Murray last year. We didn't have this problem with Jamal Murray 3 years ago. This has been a reoccurring problem. This has been a reoccurring problem.
He missed the whole season, Chilton.
Right. Well, he missed the whole season. He missed the whole season 3 years ago.
And then
Kawhi Leonard,
he's been hurt continuously.
Right.
It's to the point where you have to worry about Jamal Murray going into your season because he misses a lot of games. Now he missed one whole season, and then in that time he's missed games multiple times, season after season, chunks of games at a time. Look at what's going on right now. He's been out for a good amount of games. He missed a lot more games than Kawhi Leonard has this year. That's all I'm saying. I'm not wishing ill on Jamal Murray. I don't think I don't want to be injury prone, obviously, but I'm saying like he's an injury prone dude. And when Swiper was just saying, "Oh, what man," he said they're not playing. They want to. You said, "Oh, they're managing him," and then just went on. But when we talked about this with Kawhi Leonard just yesterday, it was no. He just. I'm just saying it's clear. I think I said this to you. It was you and Ticket earlier in the season. There is clear bias here. There is a clear bias, and it shows now. I'm seeing it now. Just my eyes are open. I'm just going
off the
unfair, bro. That's unfair.
No, it's not because I'm going off the history of Kawhi Leonard. It's not close to the history of Jamal Murray, and it's a reoccurring problem. So I don't think it's the same thing. Nope.
Wait, so is missing 1 year that makes you injury prone? Just miss 1 year now, Ox?
Well, it's not just missing 1 year, but he gets hurt a lot.
Jamal Murray's missed 2 playoff runs for Denver because he's been hurt.
You know what I mean?
I know he missed
the 21 playoffs and he missed the 22 playoffs. He played in 2020, he played in 2019. So he's played in 3 and he's missed 2. So he's got a 60% chance of playing in the playoffs.
Okay, so Mars, if can you complete that? So he missed the 21 playoffs because he got hurt almost at the end of the season because he tore his knee up, and then he was out the next season. So
it missed the playoff runs,
right? Because of an injury. Because
the same reason Kawhi went down with a torn ACL in 21 and ended up missing all of 22. It's the same thing.
Now rewind the clock, Mars. That we're talking about Kawhi Leonard with the same issue where he's missed time consistently because of this. In fact, you're the one who spoke about Kawhi Leonard in terms of his elite seasons, why he hasn't had more because of this same issue. It's not the same thing as Jamal Murray.
Oh, I think the biggest difference is Kawhi's the best player on his team and Jamal Murray is the second best player on the team. So I think just off that alone, you need Kawhi more than you need Jamal Murray.
Depends on the series, Mars.
No.
Fellas, we got to get back to
that alone
Lakers,
is why I think Kawhi Leonard is more of a concern. But I think both teams need them to win. So
we got to get back to the Lakers. Swiper, I got to ask you, I haven't heard from you yet. How do you feel about the Lakers' hot streak going into the playoffs? What does this mean for them?
What are they, 8-1 in the last 9?
Yep, they've won 8 of their last 9 games. Yep.
Means they're a serious problem. They should be considered a serious threat to win the Western Conference. And I suspect that depending on the matchup in the first round, which could be very well the 8th seed, which would work out for them, they would see the Minnesota Timberwolves. And if I was the Lakers, I'll feel very confident. If I was the Wolves, I'll feel very confident. And I think that's dangerous. I think that's a dangerous matchup. And I think if Bron and AD are fully healthy, which they appear to be right now, and then you're getting great rotation play from D'Angelo Russell, who wants a little bit of a revenge tour versus the Wolves for discarding him for Mike Conley, and then having Austin Reeves, those shooters, and Gabe Vincent coming off the bench. And then, dealing with Naz Reid. But I think, hey, the Rui Naz Reid minutes could be really interesting. I'm excited. I think the Lakers should feel good.
Rui Naz Reid minutes.
All right, so now we've talked about potential champions all season, but it's no better time than now because, well, we haven't been as close to the championship series as we have been now. So right now, I'm going to ask you guys, championship odds in your eyes. I want you to go 1 through 4 in your top teams with the best chances to win a championship in your eyes.
Across both
you can start at 4 and go to 1, or start at 1 and go to 4.
Across both conferences, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's only one in the East.
Who's first?
Who got it?
Based on the season, Boston.
Yeah.
I think that's unanimous. I think everyone.
And this is up to you though. You might have Boston 2. Somebody might have Boston 4. This is up to you in terms of chances, the percentages. If you don't necessarily have to say the percentages, but
Julius
you can
Randle's
allocate who
there.
you think has the best odds.
Just getting back. The Bucks are trash. And then they got the Cleveland Cavaliers. So all that put together, the Celtics are there's no real competition.
They should walk to the finals.
There's no real competition.
They should walk to the finals.
So Swiper,
the Bucks series is not going to be easy, but
no, it's not. It's not. But are they going to get to that series though? Well, the
I don't
Bucks
like.
beat
I don't like.
Philly gonna beat the Bucks, but
I don't like.
But
this.
even
I see
the
where this-
Heat-
I
the
see
Heat
where this
are
is
real.
going already. I see where this is going
the
already.
Heat gonna get
where's
the
it
6
going?
seed. The Heat
Where,
gonna get
where's it going, Ox? What's going on?
Chill. The people are just trying to set it up for excuse making time when the Celtics win it. Oh, they didn't have no real
They had an easy
competition.
road.
The East was weak. I see this. I see what's going on here already.
Well, Ox,
I
is
see.
it-
I
is
can see.
Is it
Hold on,
factually
I
not
see
true that the
Swiper,
Eastern
see
Conference
Swiper.
is
This
not the
thing,
West?
Swiper. I don't gotta taste salt to know it ain't sugar. I can see it already. I know
You
what
can
y'all
see
trying
it.
to do.
Yeah.
I know what you're trying
They're
to do.
shaped
Man.
differently.
See, I can see what's going on here, Swiper. Man,
Salt and sugar are not the same.
No, but I guess
Come
I'm trying to
on, man.
understand. Like, do you think the Eastern Conference is not weaker than the West?
that's not the point. That's not the point.
If I have to play the Chicago Bulls or the Atlanta Hawks in the first round, as opposed to playing the Lakers, the Suns, or maybe I don't know, Lakers or Suns or Kings or whatever, that's the dramatically
New
different
Orleans is
experience
in the play.
than playing versus DeMar DeRozan and Sasha and Vooch and Alec Caruso and all them. And then
So
in the
no
second round,
respect for Vooch and DeMar. And
No.
Vucevic,
not like
Vucevic has been
LeBron.
terrible the whole year. I'm just
and not like LeBron and AD. And then in the second round,
yeah,
the
but
Knicks
is
are not going to have Julius Randle.
that means to discredit?
Who's
them being where they're
discrediting? We just said that they're going to have an easier path.
What I'm saying is, Swiper, what's the point of saying it then? Because that's what it's going to turn into. It's going to turn into, oh, well, they didn't really have any competition. They walked to these.
No, see, Ox, you've heard me say this. They're going to struggle with the Heat. And I'm going to tell you because I know that their play style isn't sustainable. But I'm saying that in terms of number one odds, who should be, it's Boston because they have one of the best regular season teams ever. They have had they're walking the 65 win. They could rest the rest of the season, coast into the playoff with 2 weeks off. I think that's important. And they're going to be healthy, they're going to be whole. There's no one with the talent level that they're going to have. Missoula's going to finish probably top 2 in Coach of the Year voting this year. They're going to have 2 players in the top 10 in MVP voting. I think they have one of the best rosters, period. So you put all that stuff together, I'm saying they're going to be number one because of everything into it. Right now, the Nuggets are going to have a tougher time getting out of the Western Conference, which is why I think people would have them either 1 or 2, but they're having them 1 because they did it. They got Jokic. I think that's the difference.
So, Swiper, can I get your top 4?
I was
trying
trying
to
to
go around the room, and I got to hear everybody.
Yeah, I got Celtics. I got Nuggets. Then I'm going to put the probably the Timberwolves.
You got the Timberwolves at 3?
I'm trying to think, like, there's probably 3 teams in that tier, though. That's what I'm saying. So it's probably the Wolves, Lakers, maybe the Thunder. They're all probably in the same tier for me.
All right, I'm gonna put it like this, just to make it a little easier. I give you $1,000 to put on one team, $500 to put on the second team, $250 to put on the third team, and $100 to put on the fourth team.
Well, I gamble a little different, Ron. I'm putting that 1,000 on the longer shot.
Same.
I'm trying.
It's not my money to lose. You give me $1,000.
All
right, never mind. We can't do that. All right, let me hear your top 4.
Give me the Sixers. I'm putting 1,000 on the Sixers, right?
I got you.
Come on, Dumbo, talk to me.
One highest odds for me, I got the Nuggets. Second highest odds, ironically, I got the Sixers. Third highest odds, Celtics. Fourth highest odds, Lakers.
He cooking right now. I told you, man. The Sixers script is hitting right now.
Okay.
Last night.
I think I got Celtics, Nuggets, Suns. And either the Lakers or the Pelicans.
Start over again.
What happened to the Clippers? The Clips
top
clipped?
box.
Oh man, the Clips clipped.
Damn, you're not sticking to your guns.
So that would be the fourth. That would probably be the fourth team. It's one of those teams. Clippers, Lakers, Pelicans. I'm not sure. The West is so jammed up. Everybody's the same. To stand on my take. I could take the Clippers over the Pelicans.
Yeah.
You be the main one running around talking about standing on your nuts. No. Saying like
I don't think I'm the main one that runs around saying that.
I don't think you were standing on your nuts right there.
All right, one of those days. Sometimes they. Never mind. Shit, go ahead.
That's a wild ass statement, by the way. I think standing on your nuts would hurt like a bitch. I think I'm good.
Well, I mean, that's why you. You know what? Go ahead, chill.
Anyway,
some people that pay for that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So
people like what they like, man.
Come to Atlanta, man. You find
Chill.
all
Who
everything
you
want.
got? Chill.
I'm sorry.
To us.
As you were saying. So focus, Damo. Anyway, so Celtics, I think they win an NBA championship. I think they're going to see the Nuggets in the finals. I think Minnesota has the best shot at beating the Denver Nuggets, and I think the Lakers are a long shot.
So you got LA at 4.
Yes, I think they're a
Reggie
long
Jackson might be the most important player in the playoffs because this is going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts.
There's no way that your hopes are pinned on Reggie.
I'm telling you, it's the difference between them walking through the West and then them having to struggle versus these teams. Watch, I'm guaranteeing it right now. Bruce Brown was incredible last year.
Reggie Jackson has instances where he can't be played in a series. That's the downside to him.
Or regular season. He didn't close yesterday versus the Clippers because he was
right. So so the idea of him, the idea of us getting to the finals, largely depends on him. I don't like that at all. I don't.
No, it's not. I'm gassing. It's not largely, but they're gonna. Well, Murray. Anyway, we'll talk about that later, bro. But anyway, the Celtics are sure, no problem. I'm telling you, Chill. They should walk through, but they're not because I guarantee you, the Knicks and them Heat will have something to say about it in these series. And if they see the Heat in the first round, that's going to be horrific. I don't care what nobody says.
I mean,
That
right
sweep
now,
is gonna hit so different.
I think they smoked Miami, Mars. I'm not on the fence about this. I'm not thinking
that
possibly.
series is over
I think they
in 4
smoked
games.
them dudes. I do.
right
I
quick,
think
Mars, let me hear your top 4 teams, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the standings on the screen so we can see what it's looking like right now. Who you got, Mars?
Boston, Denver, Dallas. That 5th spot's between Philly, Milwaukee, and the Lakers. I'll go with Philly. Why not? We'll go with Philly.
All right, cool. So we was just talking about the playoffs. Let's go ahead and throw this on the screen. This is the Western Conference as of right now, but let's go to the Eastern because we've been talking about the Eastern Conference. This is what it looks like today.
Look how many wins these dumb 9 seeds get in the East. Meanwhile, I'm here at 38 and 38 at the 11 seed. Whatever, man.
So as of right now, in the play-in, the Sixers and the Heat are both playing teams at 7 and 8, and the Pacers are 6th. How we feeling about this, fellas?
The Heat gonna catch the Pacers. The Pacers gonna be in the play-in and play the Sixers, and then
the Heat get the Cleveland Cavaliers. Ooh.
No, Cleveland ain't staying at 3. Cleveland, the Knicks and Orlando moving up. They drop into the 5 seed. I hate what's going on in Cleveland right now. I hate what's going on in Cleveland right now. I don't like. They've been one of the worst rebounding teams since in the month of March. They've been one of the worst scoring teams in the month of March. They've just been bad. They're only a game ahead of the 5 spot.
So we can get a Knicks Heat first round at the 3 to 6.
No, we can actually. What you're going to get is you're going
to get a Knicks Heat 4-5. Orlando gonna move up.
Yep.
Orlando goes 4. Knicks go.
Oh no, not Knicks Heat. I was talking about Cavs Knicks. I'm bugging right now.
Yes.
You can get Knicks Heat 3-6.
And if they got to see the Knicks in the first round, even without Julius Randle, bye. They get the door. Use it.
Bye to the Heat.
Bye. No. We talking about the Knicks and the Cavs in the first round.
Yeah, he's saying the Cavs would lose.
We're talking about the Knicks and the Cavs.
If the Cavs go to at the 4-5.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and I think they don't host that playoff series, Ox. They got to go on the road to start. They're out.
Wow.
I don't like what I'm seeing from Cleveland at all. I don't like the energy. Donovan Mitchell is a shell of what he used to be. This is the same dude who before the All-Star break, he was 28 a game. I don't know if you guys noticed, but since the All-Star break, Donovan Mitchell, who's clearly been beat up, he's averaging less than 18 a game. He's a shell of what he used to be. It's the same dude who I'm still standing on it. I still think he's the best 2-guard in the game. But what I saw a couple of nights ago when they played against Phoenix, that just looked like a dude who was just out there. That's what it looked like. Not only that, their Cleveland team, they look disoriented. They look disheveled more than anything. So I don't like what I'm seeing from Cleveland. I think that they dropped to the 5 seed. Their defense isn't what it used to be. They were the best defensive team in the league last year. They're not. I think they're right outside. I think they're like 7 or 8 now, something like that. No, I'm good on Cleveland.
Mars, so you said that the Heat are gonna jump The Pacers.
Mm.
These are the top 5 or last 5 games for both of those teams. Well, I think the Heat have 6 games, but the Heat have to play Houston tonight. Then they play Indiana. Actually, they play each other on Sunday. Then they play the Hawks, the Mavericks, and then they got back-to-back games against Toronto.
They win every game.
You think they win out? The Heat? Oh, okay. Indiana has OKC tonight. Miami.
Is Shea playing? You know Shea's playing? Or Jada?
No.
Okay. Interesting.
They have the Pacers, that is. They have Miami on Sunday, which I just mentioned. Then they play Toronto, Cleveland, and Atlanta. So for the most part, both teams have.
It's going to come down to who wins the Miami-Indiana game. That's what you just said. All I heard was whoever wins the Miami-Indiana game gets the 6th seed. So whoever wins that one, that game. It's not being done on playback because
we need to.
Dallas.
We definitely gonna cue that.
You might have to change the schedule because we need the Miami Indiana game.
So on Sunday it's supposed to be Mars.
It was meant to be Dallas and Houston, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but that game.
I'll sub out. It's fine. I'll sub out if we need to. I'll sub out. I know Claire don't want me to do playbacks anyway, so it's fine.
Mars, you think the Heat beat you guys tonight on a back-to-back?
Yeah, we're on a back-to-back. Yeah.
And I know you guys on a back-to-back too, but I mean, I think it's a little bit
the teams of not teamwork. The only way we win now is if we make a bunch of threes because teams have figured out trap Jalen Green and we can't do anything. That's what teams have figured out. So unless Dylan Brooks makes a bunch of threes or Jabari makes a bunch of threes or Fred or whoever, our offense just isn't good enough. And I don't think Miami's going to turn the ball over enough to where we can get out in transition and run. Right. Also, we're very bad at beating zones. And what does Miami do more than anyone? Run zone. So yeah, I don't think we win tonight. I think Miami gonna beat us tonight. And then it all comes down to that Indiana game. Indiana's schedule isn't that hard, other than the Miami game, and same thing with Miami, other than the Indiana game. So yeah, I think Miami's got.
They have you guys tonight. Then after you guys, they got Indiana. Then they got Atlanta
and Toronto.
They got Dallas too.
Dallas and then Toronto twice, yeah. And
Dallas.
I think Dallas is trying to get into. I think Dallas, in my opinion, I think Dallas are going to avoid the play-in. I think they're fine. I think Dallas. I don't think they need to go all out against Miami. I think they're going to be chilling at that point in the season, just remaining healthy. Luka's dealing with his little Achilles thing or whatever it is, his knee or something. So they're probably going to be resting him. Not that he's not going to play, but just not exerting too much.
Mars, Dallas still has playoff implications too, though. They can.
Dallas are going to get the 5 seed. I think they're going to keep it.
Well,
I think they're going to keep it. I know how close it is. I'm looking at it right now. I still think they're going to keep it.
So
if anything, they might catch the Clippers.
Next Wednesday rolls around. Let's say that they have lost a game or two. They might have to really take that game serious.
They got to take all the games serious.
They play the Warriors. The Warriors tonight. The Warriors off a back-to-back. I think they're going to beat the Warriors. Just get back after they got away with that Klay Thompson travel. They're going to win that game. Then they play us on Sunday. Luka's going to make ridiculous shots again. We lose. Then they got Charlotte. Okay, free win. Miami. I think Miami's going to win that game because I think once Dallas have gone on a 4-game winning streak, I think they'll be comfortable in 5. They're going to win that game. And then they got Detroit, where free win, unless Malachi Flynn has 50. And then OKC, last game of the season. OKC going to be resting guys anyway. So Dallas probably going to be resting guys last game of the season too. I think Dallas are comfortable in 5. If not 5, 6.
Mars, I think that you're wrong on the idea of, I think this race for that 5, 6, 7 spot, I think that's a lot closer than you giving them credit for. And I don't think that there's going to be any time to rest. This Phoenix team, their last 7 games are all against playoff teams.
Phoenix going to be trying for sure. I think Dallas going to get 5 or 6. They're not going to fall into the plane. I don't think New Orleans or the Kings or the Lakers are going to catch them. They might drop to 6 and then play like OKC or the Timberwolves or Denver in the first round, maybe. Right. But they're not going to fall into the plane. I don't think New Orleans haven't looked great since BI's gone down, in my opinion. So I think New Orleans got the Spurs, then the Suns and the Blazers. So that's 2 wins right there.
You put it back up, bro.
And then the Warriors and the Lakers. Yeah, the Pelicans aren't catching them. I don't think.
7. Yes, man, this is so close. This is insane.
Just so you know, Ox, from 5 to 5, 6, 7, only separated by a game. One game. That's it.
My thing. So the only thing I'm I'm happy about is that no matter what happens, we're definitely gonna have action to be in the play-in. Like these top 10 teams, I'm pretty sure are secure.
Right.
Wow, this is
here you
crazy.
go. Wow, secure.
Well, I'm just mathematically, Mars. No,
yeah,
know
you
what
got
I'm
it.
saying?
You got it.
I really wanted y'all to get that 10 spot. You know what I'm saying? I wanted y'all to get the Warriors out of there. You know,
we
so
all did, except the NBA. They ain't
Instead, now
this
y'all
is
got to
so
play him in
close.
the 19th game.
This is so close. Like, because I mean, you look at it like the Suns could still drop to 9.
I mean, the Lakers
Right.
win their the Lakers have their little game like in hand on the Kings. So if they win that game, they like tied with the Kings. Now the Kings have the tiebreaker, but really 5 and 9 will be separated by 2 games with 6 games to go. Like it's close. The Lakers play, I think they play the Warriors, and I think they play the Pelicans too. So like these teams still have to play each other, which is what makes it so. Like these games where they play against each other, like the Pelicans could get jumped by the Lakers just because of one game. Like that's what's gonna be interesting.
And let's not act like the Clippers can't lay an egg too. If fall a couple games, the Clippers can technically fall to the 7th seed.
I mean, if the Nuggets won last night, the Mavericks would be like a game back.
Yeah,
like it's close. It's very close. The top 3 is secure, and then everything else is close.
With the Lakers, I mean, they play Cleveland tomorrow afternoon. I think they beat them. Then they got Minnesota coming in the next night. I don't think that they beat Minnesota. I think they lose that one. Then they play Golden State. I think they beat Golden State. They go to Memphis. I think they beat Memphis. And then they got to play the Pelicans. And I feel like all 5 of these 5 games are against playoff teams, number one. And all 5 of these games are playoff implications. So I don't think anybody's resting. I don't think anybody's chilling. And I don't think this is going to get wrapped up until next Sunday.
Do the Lakers play tonight?
Tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow
and Sunday.
Against who?
Cleveland and Minnesota. Cleveland on Sunday, and then Minnesota on Sunday night.
Hold on, no. Ox, who y'all got? Let me pull up y'all.
We got our record ain't sweet. We got the Celtics tonight, and our record ain't sweet.
Y'all got it's not too bad. I mean, y'all got the Celtics tonight. I mean, hopefully for you guys, it's safe.
They still got to play the Suns. I know that they got to play the Suns.
And Oklahoma City too.
Yeah, well, they get Oklahoma City. Shea might not be playing not because
OKC isn't OKC right now. They just trying to get into the playoffs healthy. So OKC is not.
And we handle OKC anyway.
So Ox, y'all got Boston tonight. Win or lose?
You do have New Orleans.
We're not beating Boston.
So hold on, no. Has Boston taken their foot off the pedal yet, or are they ready to start closing into the playoffs?
Hey, Ron. Without Shea and J-Dub, they beat Oklahoma City by 35. They ain't playing. They not playing around in Boston.
They're still chilling. They're just still better than
they not.
Even when
they're not playing around. So Ox and so y'all play Boston tonight. You don't got y'all beating Boston. Sunday you in Brooklyn. Yes or no?
Oh yeah,
free win.
Yeah, we beat them.
Then that Tuesday you in Oklahoma City. Yes or no?
Yeah, we beat them.
Then that Thursday, the Debo in the house.
Who's Debo?
The Pelicans.
Oh no, we not beat. Oh wait, yeah, no. Because look, BI's out, and then Zion's game to game. So
right,
we could beat them.
And then you got the Suns.
How long is Brandon Ingram out for?
They said what reevaluated in 2 weeks, like 2 weeks ago.
Don't it feel like it's been around that time now? Like
once again, it's about health. It said reevaluate in 2 weeks on the 22nd of March. So sometime this week probably.
But I'm gonna stick with the trend though. No, I don't got this against the Pelicans. No.
So now you got then next Friday you got KD in the Suns in town.
I can't call that one. I think we match up good with them, but no, we don't got Malik. No, we don't beat them.
Yeah, that's a nice little L.
And then you got the Trailblazers.
That's a free dub. Yeah, that's a free dub.
So
what's that? 3-3? Or
that's what it looked like. It looked like 500. You lose.
What would that get you? 47 wins.
I need to Cavs and who else? Who else y'all play, Damo?
The Cavs, Timberwolves.
Yeah, I need the Cavs and the Timberwolves to win. That's what I need. I just need them to beat the Lakers, keep them off our ass. You know what I'm saying? Just help us out a little bit.
So Brandon Ingram was running on the treadmill earlier this week. Well, that was actually Monday. He will be reevaluated.
Me owe $10, Damo. Nah.
We should have an update on Brandon Ingram like today or tomorrow. And they said he's hopeful to return to action around the 3-week mark after his recovery that he suffered on March 21st.
Isn't that like the second week of April? Isn't that like
so he should be back early next week, mid next week, something like that. If everything is going according to schedule,
I just wouldn't bring him back. Well, it depends. Yeah, the seeding is so clear. Yeah, I don't know. You can't afford to.
Y'all lost to Portland early this year. They beat y'all.
Yeah.
I didn't.
But we're now at the point in the season where Jeremy Grant just don't be playing in basketball anymore. So and Anthony Simons don't be playing basketball because losing games is.
And Brogdon's out too.
Yeah. But I've seen something that Jeremy Grant hasn't played a game in April since 2021.
How is that possible?
Because he'd be on tanking teams that shut him down.
What the hell?
So they just shut him down. He hasn't played a game in April in 3 years.
Oh my god.
All right, y'all. We got super chats, so let's go ahead and do the damn thing. Drip Bayless said NBA is all about matchups. I saw Chill the other day say 23 Nuggets could be 18 Warriors, and I had to think about it. He might be right, but I would like to ask what champs since 2012 can beat them?
Can beat the
Talking about the 18 Warriors? Yeah, what champs since 2012 can beat the 18 Warriors?
Forget champs. The 2018 Rockets could have beat them. But
true.
Champs,
I think that Bucks team, that 21 Bucks team, I think they could have beat them.
I think
they're gonna be guarding KD 1-on-1 too. They're getting torched.
That 13 Heat team, I think they could beat them.
The 14 Spurs, really?
Mars, do you remember the Spurs in 14? That ball movement, that action.
Yeah, but the issue is the Warriors had ball movement with far superior talent. So I'm sorry.
I would say the 17 Pelicans if DeMarcus don't.
You mean the 18 Pelicans? The 18 Pelicans. It was 20.
Yeah.
It was
18. Oh yeah, 18. Yeah, right. The Pelicans with the health of DeMarcus. Yeah.
Was that team that good? I've heard.
Yeah, they were.
Maybe I'm misremembering.
They were a matchup problem. You had an
Rondo,
elite point of attack defense and the best big man front court in the league.
They just missed
Rondo,
Drew Holiday. Yeah, Rondo, Drew Holiday, Anthony Davis, and Boogie. Yeah, they were.
I just meant they were just missing. I don't know why. Remembering that team, I felt like it was in terms of trying to get wins to get Boogie and find a role for Boogie and 80 together to try to get wins for that team. I felt like that was the issue. But maybe I'm just misremembering.
Maybe I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
MP13 said, "I'm just going to say it since Swiper X Kendi is talking about is talking around the bush. It's just racism against Europeans with a white complexion, but nobody cares about it because they are white. They just get a pass to say whatever they want."
Low key.
That was xenophobia, man. That was xenophobia.
Trey J23 said, "Would you say that Jordan was a mixture of playoff Kawhi with Westbrook athleticism and body?"
He's way more athletic than Russ. Well, no disrespect to Russ, but
so LeBron. Okay. Jordan was just LeBron.
He DeMar DeRozan. But I don't know. Jordan's Jordan, man. Shout out to him. He nice.
MP13 said, "There's this weird thing people do about Kawhi where if he plays, people question the validity of his injury, but when he doesn't play, they are ready to tell him to retire. It can't be both stances."
Does it seem like it's the same thing? And it doesn't just hold him out for a minute. Like he's done when he's hurt. Like this knee injury, it shuts him down. That's why.
I feel like this year was kind of put validity to the fact that he actually is hurt. Because some people thought he was faking it. Like, oh, he's just trying to get away with it. I ain't gonna lie. He played the most games he's played in a long time. And if we get to the end of the season, his knees is cooked.
I remember we was having a conversation. Oh, has Kawhi been lying this whole time? I'm like,
Mars, I thought they tricked me. I'm like, what's going on?
I was just there like, okay, we're just like, that's on serious.
What the hell is going on?
I'm like, Kawhi be legitimately hurt, and people just be acting like he just be making it up. Like,
I thought Mars, from what he looked super sharp, he looked ridiculously athletic. It was real wow. I thought I got tricked. I'm like, yo, maybe this dude ain't. And on top of that, they signed him to an extension. So maybe he tricked the Clippers too. I don't know.
I'll take this knee pain this summer for this bag. I'll do it.
Christopher D sent through a super chat and said, "What's more difficult to stop? Prime Kobe with LeBron athleticism, or prime Shaq with the fadeaway and can knock down free throws?"
Yeah,
Prime Shaq with a fadeaway.
Shaq had his little fadeaway,
he had a fadeaway.
that little thing. It was weird, but he used to go in to like 12, 15 feet.
Yes,
It was
monkey.
hideous to look at, but
Yes.
I think when he says a fadeaway, I think he means something more like
Dirk.
and then like Dirk, yeah, like something.
Yeah,
like
I know.
Go to fadeaway,
But he did have that though, Damo. He had that over his left shoulder on the right block. He had it over his left shoulder. It was money.
But
It did used to go in. It just didn't have the aesthetic because it was like a one-handed shot. It was weird. But
It was like this, and it looked like
it did used to go
it was,
in.
it was cash. It was cash.
But
Shaq had
he
some
also
nice
did
turn.
say Shaq with free throws too, though.
Yeah, Shaq.
Let me say free throws.
that's
Free
not
throws
fair.
free throws like who's like 75%? Or are we talking 90%? Like what? Are we talking
But
about?
let's
say
say
80. Let's say 80%.
80. All right, 80.
Shaq an 80% free throw shot.
It wouldn't be fair.
That might be the best player ever. What are we talking about?
It wouldn't be fair.
And
Yo,
you let some
honestly-
people tell it. Some people think Kobe is more athletic than LeBron.
And that's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
Like,
some people
y'all,
do.
like, do you guys forget how athletic Kobe was?
Some people think Kobe's more athletic than Jordan.
I'm not saying Kobe's more athletic than Bron. I'm not saying he's more athletic than Jordan.
Here we go.
I'm not comparing nobody's athleticism. I'm just talking about Kobe's athleticism. Kobe was an elite athlete.
Yes, he was.
Kobe was an elite. Kobe was coming through the lane, dunking on 2 and 3 people at a time. Kobe was catching the ball vertical and going up and windmilling. Kobe was catching crazy alley-oops. Kobe was fast. Kobe was quick. Kobe was strong. Like, I think you guys forget how good of an athlete Kobe was. You remember him in the
Nobody
2010s.
forgets. Nobody forgets how athletic he was.
People just genuinely like. I had a conversation yesterday. Some like people think Kobe's more athletic than Michael Jordan. Like, it just is what it is.
And
like, I
that's where-
obviously disagree, and I think it's ridiculous. but-
That's where it gets ridiculous, and that's what I mean when I say here we go. And this, anybody that knows basketball should understand. Look, Kobe Bryant, especially younger Kobe, was a superior athlete, great athlete, elite athlete. When you say he's more athletic than LeBron, the conversation ends. When it said, "Oh, he's more athletic than Jordan," that's when you stop the convo. You don't, no. I mean, I get that, but I mean, when we really talk about it, Kobe, Vince Carter, athletics. No, stop. That's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. Like, no.
We're not going to do that.
If you think Kobe was just as athletic or more athletic than LeBron and MJ, and you think he's more skilled than both of them, you think Kobe's the best player.
He has to be the GOAT. He has to be your GOAT.
You think he's the best. Like, and if you think Kobe's the best, cool. But then don't go ahead and be like, nah, MJ's the GOAT, but Kobe's more athletic and more skilled. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not hearing it. Like, I'm not about to listen to that. That doesn't make sense.
I think only thing I can really think of him saying this because, like, I'm thinking maybe he's saying Bron's body. So you take Kobe and put him in a 6'8", 260-pound body.
Oh my God, that is scary.
Yeah, you see.
Hey, Tay Luke, what does that mean? He dunked on better bigs than Bron.
He said that. I just left it alone.
Like, what does that even mean? Like James didn't run down the gut and throw it on Kevin Garnett. Like he didn't do that.
He said Kobe was a better dunker than Bron. I used poster dunks to make my points, and Kobe dunked on better bigs.
Do you remember James in transition? The younger James? Like we ain't talking about James today. You know what?
Kobe did a dunk contest. LeBron dunked it. There we go.
I'm gonna take your advice, and I'm gonna bow at it.
Also, too, though, I think like Kobe, you got to understand, like getting to the rim and dunking on somebody is also predicated on your quickness and your ability to blow by people. I'm not saying Kobe was more explosive than LeBron or even faster or quicker than LeBron, but what I am saying is Kobe was smaller and more agile, so he was able to explode by defenders. And Kobe with his angles Kobe was a magician when it comes to just using correct angles. So Kobe was able to get that angle to get past defenders. So he had more cleaner attempts to dunk on people too. So like if you guys understand what I'm saying, like he was able to get by his defenders and catch the bigger man, you know, as opposed to LeBron. LeBron's just going through everybody and trying to put you in the rim. So it's a little different.
Let me just say this to all the people that are really telling me Kobe is 100% more athletic than Bron. Unless you want to say, which even is still stupid, peak for peak at the time, who was more athletic, which I'm still not going to go with. It goes to show Exactly, but it goes to show that if you look at how long LeBron has been able to be one of the best athletes in the NBA from a longevity standpoint versus Kobe. I understand Kobe got hurt 2013, but even in the late 2010s and the late 2000s and early 2010s, it was a noticeable difference in Kobe's athleticism. Like he really had to rely on his skill, his footwork, everything else outside of athleticism at a certain point in his career way sooner than LeBron. LeBron was able to rely on his athleticism and be more athletic than people way longer in his career than Kobe. If you want to say that was the injury, sure, gang, I'll say we can agree to disagree. I'll just say LeBron James at the age of 49 years old is still outrunning rookies. Is still outrunning rookies who are setting athletic feats for their age. He is still out jumping young guys at 59 years old. He's like Wilt Chamberlain, but 6'8". I'm just saying.
I run faster than your father, who I played against, and I run faster than you today.
Now, there's no way you saw 09 LeBron and said like 01 Kobe was more athletic. Like
no way.
LeBron's different. Like we can have the who's more skilled conversations. I'm fine with that conversation. Who did this and who did that? Fine. You get to athleticism. If you're trying to argue Kobe's more athletic than LeBron, I think at that point that's just glaze. Like that's just glaze.
All right, y'all. Back into the super chats. Just 8 MMA said Kevin Love, Chris Bosh, Lamar Odom, LaMarcus Aldridge, Pau Gasol. Not who's the best player, but who's the most talented. Rank 1 through 5 if you have to.
I'm on record saying Lamar Odom was always the guy who left me wanting more. Always, because he had everything that you was looking for. Everything. Could knock down the mid-range. He could pass the ball, 6'10", could get downhill. He could rebound. In terms of a talent, he was fantastic. Oh man, he was great.
Kevin Love over everybody. Shout out Kevin Love.
You think Kevin Love's the most talented?
I'm biased. I'm biased. He's one of the reasons why I wore 42 when I play basketball. That's just biased.
What was the other reasons?
James Worthy.
Kevin Love, please. I don't know. I don't know who the most talented is.
Real quick, Mars. You know why James Worthy? Because he's a Carolina guy too. So don't leave that out. So
okay.
he's a Carolina guy too, so.
Wait, Kevin Love clears who, Mars? Not James Worthy, right?
That's what he's saying. James Worthy. He was saying James Worthy.
No way. It's
Okay.
no way.
Okay.
Rankings, these guys, who y'all got?
I will go. So if we're talking about just talent, right? So
Yeah.
Lamar, I'll go Lamar, Pau, Chris, LaMarcus, Kevin.
Chris Bosh more talented than LaMarcus?
Yeah,
I think he was more. I think he was more skilled than LaMarcus.
Yeah, I think so.
Why? Because of the handle and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, that adds to it.
Okay.
Take you off that dribble, knock the jump.
Yeah.
Shot.
Don't get me wrong now, Mars. I won't argue LaMarcus Aldridge's box work. He was hell on the box.
Yeah.
I think he was better on the box than Chris Bosh was. One-on-one.
Where LaMarcus start really pissing me off, Chill, is when he stopped really going to the rim off the block. He'd get to that fadeaway on the baseline every time. I'd be like, LaMarcus, you just go to the rim, bro.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I would prefer Chris Bosh on the block. I can't stand bigs that. Yeah, I can't. I'm not saying that LaMarcus wasn't tough, but just kind of what Ox said. I can't stand bigs that want to just continuously shoot jumpers out the post and shoot fadeaways and stuff
just
like
fading
that.
away off
Like,
that baseline jumper is like that fadeaway it's nice, but don't spam it.
What if you add Blake Griffin to that list of guys? Where does he rank?
He's behind Kevin Love.
Yeah,
he's at the end of the list.
You think he's the least talented?
End of the list?
he was. Here's the thing about Blake though, Damo. He was more of an athlete, which made it look like he was more skilled. He was a big time athlete.
We ain't see Detroit Blake. We ain't see him.
Damn Detroit Blake. We literally did this thing. We were comparing rookie seasons on the pod last night. I forgot how good of a rookie year Blake Griffin had. I think people forget how good Blake Griffin is just at a floor level. Blake was a talented SOB. Now, I'm not going to say he's the most talented.
A lot of it was because of his outlier athleticism, but I mean, that's part of it. Like, you can't.
It is part of it. No, 100%. So, like,
I won't put him one though.
For example, his skill set where he'd have a spin move. Well, he'd lose the ball, but because he's so fast, he could recover it. or he would handle the ball and he might have fumbled it on a left or right cross, but because he was so fast and he could jump so high, he'd pick it up in the middle of the lane and just hop right over you. So his athleticism made his skill set maybe look like it was better than what it was.
People say
I guess because I view Blake because he developed a lot of what he had.
He
so
did.
Like, he became very skilled. So I guess that's less talent and more skill, in my opinion. Okay. Okay. He skill though, like 2019 Blake Griffin
up there.
He up there for sure.
Super chat from Legend of Wingstop. Said most entertaining playoff series you've ever watched. Example: Heat and Celtics, 2012 Eastern Conference Finals.
Most entertaining.
This is kind of like the most. This is like the one we did yesterday, like the best forgotten series. It's kind of some.
What year was that? What was the year? Was that Celtics in Chicago?
Oh no,
that's the one where
it was 9 miles because Garnett wasn't playing. Every game went to game. I think that series went 7 and like 3 of the 5 games went to overtime. Something like that.
I'm talking about the one where Derrick Rose blocked that shot. Rajon pulled up for that little mid range, and Derrick Rose got recovered and blocked it.
I'm like 80% sure it's 09.
It is 09 because Garnett wasn't there. I do remember that. Yes,
I like that one. That was a good one.
Give me Heat Pacers. Which year was it? 13.
1 year LeBron had a 5-point game. I know that. So that's 2014. 2013 went
against the Pacers.
Yeah.
The one he went to Game 7. When did Lance blow in his ear? Was that
the one that went to Game 7 was in 13. They beat him in 6 and 14.
Yeah,
was that the year that Lance blew in his ear?
I think 14 was when he blew in his ear.
I think 14 was Lance doing stuff.
I'm gonna go with it was a better series, so I'll go with the 7 one. But when Lance blew in that man's ear, I ain't gonna hold. No, did he? No,
the Knicks had a very good series against the Pacers in 13 too.
That was a great series, Mars. They lost it. They ended up losing in 6. That was a damn good series.
Wasn't that the year where J.R. Smith started acting like he couldn't hit the side of a barn? Man, he let me down that year, man. J.R. Smith let me down that year. That was Melo.
Get J.R.
But you know what? I'm tripping though. Best playoff series, obviously 2023 round 1, Kings versus Warriors. That was a hell of a series.
Watching your team get packed up was a great series.
It was still good basketball. Hey, it's been a while, you know what I'm saying? So shit, yeah, that was dope.
Oh, honorable mention for me last year, Lakers versus Memphis. Watching the Kings smack that thug around the court was great. Great.
I can't believe we haven't really mentioned the two obviouses. I'm gonna go with, and they happened in the same year. They were both the Warriors. OKC walking down the Thunder. And then series. The Cavs walking down.
That Cavs series was not good. Like
Mars, that had so many. But it had so many different storylines.
The historical part of it is great. I'm not arguing about the historical aspect. Is wonderful. You watch those games. None of the games were close except Game 7. Like the series itself was not good. The historical precedent is what made it so great. Yeah. And LeBron and overcame 73-9, Kyrie 41, the block.
Game 7 was close.
Yeah, I said none of the games.
That was the only one that was close.
Like Game 7. If you want to say Game 7 is one of the best games ever, sure. The series itself, you watch Game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That was not a good series at all. Like that was not an entertaining series. And I'm not taking it away from the achievement. I'm not taking away from the Cavs that they won a title. But I hate when people say that's one of the best series ever because there's no way you watch the first 6 games and was like, yeah, this is a great series. Like the series has been terrible. It wouldn't even happen. Getting suspended. None of the games are close. Like
if Tony Parker wouldn't have been being a hater and started looking Kawhi off, it wouldn't even happen. The Spurs had that wrapped up. The Spurs were supposed to be there.
Can I also throw in 2019 Raptors versus Sixers? I was entertained by that one.
Raptors.
No, I did enjoy that.
That was a great series.
If 2016 finals is one of the best series you've ever seen, you had to. That must have been the first series you ever watched.
You had to just started watching basketball.
The conference finals was literally better than that series. The OKC Warriors series was far superior to the
but to me, both of those were elite series. More so than the finals, more so just off storylines. More
storyline, I get it. Okay. Storylines, I get it. But actual games, watching the games, nah.
I also do want to say this year, the Sixers versus Celtics. That's going to be a hell of a series.
What about Detroit, Miami? Was that 06?
Well, 05 is the year D Wade got hurt. 06 is the year they got their get back and won.
Okay,
So which one?
yeah, 06, yeah.
So
And
the-
don't
the
forget
Pacers and Pistons
Cleveland
had
versus
some
Detroit.
interesting
Cleveland versus Detroit. I mean, if you like to
No,
see
the Boobie
Bron,
Gibson's saving legacy. Yeah.
yeah.
The Pistons and Pacers had some interesting series. Now very low scoring, but if you like defense, very very good.
In 2012, did the Thunder take out the Lakers? Is that the year the Thunder beat the Lakers in the playoffs? 2012 or my
yeah, that was Kobe's last ever playoff game.
Yeah,
he went out with
that-
like 40.
I will say that series, I was entertained by it because to me, as a Laker fan who was evolving into an NBA fan, it was a passing of the torch moment. I seen the future of the
KD
NBA.
was next up. KD was next up.
KD, Russ, Harden. That's when I was real heavy on Russ too. Pause. No diddy. Yeah, that I just seen the passing of the torch, and I was like ready for these guys to do it. But we know how that turned out.
I couldn't get it done. Yo, James B, you talking about what you say? Be careful, Ox. I'm gonna tell you something. I was a fan of your team before you was even born, bro. Before you was even in diapers, I was a fan. You know what I'm saying?
Before that Eminem was even shaped to be melted.
Facts. Before you popped out with that peanut head, boy, I was a fan of your team. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know.
All right, keeping it lit.
I'm a little bit more dated than you guys. So
Tank Jones said, "Damo,
77 finals.
cool it with the jungle fever."
That's what we calling it.
Yeah, that wasn't Jungle Fever. I'll tell you about.
I wasn't around for that. Pause. I mean, I was around for it.
You saw the 77 finals. You was like, cool.
I don't remember it. No, I don't.
Shout out to Bill Walton.
Zero just vibing said, "Ox, they are both on the injury-prone tier list. Jamal's just B tier and Kawhi's S tier."
Jamal's B tier? Is he not A tier injury prone? I wonder who's A tier then. What's his Zion?
We might have to do that.
A tier.
Hold on, Mars. We gonna do that. We'll get to that sometime.
Ooh, Embiid is
summer.
probably S tier too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Embiid's probably S tier.
It's gonna be a good summer with topics like that.
Oh my god!
Thick
How many
is
good debates we
highly-
gonna have this summer? I'm thinking 25 good debates this summer.
25 good debates.
Goats debates.
Goat debates.
Oh,
You know, you said goat debates.
Well. It also depends on what happens this summer. Because if the Lakers win the NBA championship,
If the Lakers win a chip, up at the 700. Yeah, up at the 700. Yeah.
Yo,
If the
Chilltown,
Lakers
if the Lakers
my
win the
God.
championship this year, I want to let you know in advance, Chilltown. I have a lot of dentist appointments scheduled for the summer.
I'm
You know what
trying
I'm
to
saying?
tell you,
I'm
might
getting a
be
lot of
disappearing.
orthodontic work. this
I'm
summer.
not. I might be disappearing
Let me
because
tell
it's gonna be nasty.
Let me tell you.
Oh man, what? I got
Y'all
shit
better
to do this
pray.
summer.
Y'all better pray we don't win. Y'all better pray we don't. I'm gonna be so
Domo gonna start showing up for the whole 3-hour shows now. Won't even be.
Oh,
It's
what?
gonna be the whole show.
I'm moving everything around. I'm moving everything around. Oh yeah, I'm here 24/7. I'm on every show. I'm asking niggas for links. I'm pulling up the graveyard shift.
Everywhere.
I'm pushing propaganda.
Ain't gonna be no
all
graveyard
summer.
shit.
Pushing propaganda all summer, boy. Do not
Everywhere.
let that man win.
Yo, I'm shutting down everything. Social media,
Y'all better. You better.
YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm
the
not
graveyard
even
shit gonna be in the graveyard. That's crazy.
Facts. I was just trying to get her back picked up too. I'm done. I'm through.
Thickest Pilot 9 said WNBA has league pass. Mars, shout out the ladies.
How much it cost?
It don't cost too. It don't cost too much, Morris. I can't believe y'all see that. I was thinking about that yesterday too. Damo, you and Ron talking about give me the link, this and that. Y'all can't support y'all can't support these players. That's like how y'all used to rob artists downloading music. I mean, we all did it, but you know, go buy them CDs up out the store.
First of all, don't hit me with that. Man. Don't hit me with that starving art. Man, I got every Lil Wayne album burnt and downloaded, and he still sold 1 million albums the first week. He did not need my money. Secondly, I don't care what you say. It took me until February, the end of January, to actually pay for League Pass finally. And if you think I'm about to pay for Euro TV League Pass and it's more than NBA League Pass, you're bugging.
That's good. That's good basketball.
My League Pass came with my NBA 2K. So.
Yeah, that's good. That's good basketball. First of all, I also want to say this too. Y'all want people to buy memberships on your channels and whatnot, right? because
Yeah.
y'all giving them y'all giving them good content. How we not gonna support? How we not gonna support other content creators? And we want people to support us.
15 a month. 15 a month.
Yo, Ox,
Yeah,
first off,
we want people to support us as content creators. We should support other content creators.
First off, Ox, I'm merely just a product of my era.
$5. That's it.
A product of your era.
I was raised pirating. I grew up pirating. I was born pirating. I'ma die pirating. Actually, shout out pirate by the way too.
Man, why don't you go back to sneezing? I hope you sneeze so hard you split your spleen.
Oh my god. oh Lord.
You know what? You know, hey, Chill, it's gonna be all right. You want playback tonight, right, Chill?
I am.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see how you feeling later tonight. Hey,
man.
get it all out right now, because you laugh now, cry later.
And I'm letting y'all know that whoever's showing up to playback, yo, I'm telling you right now, I ain't interested in none of the bullshit tonight. I'm showing you
We ain't got time today.
I ain't listening to none of the bullshit. I'm not listening to none of the bullshit. You come in here with the bullshit, dig at the door. I'm not trying to hear none of y'all tonight. None of you dudes. I'm not trying to hear. So show up with the bullshit, and I'm telling you right now, you will be shown the door. Show up with it.
See ya. All right, Drink More Water said, who's the most ambidextrous player ever?
Ben Simmons.
Kyrie. Oh yeah, Ben Simmons he really right-handed for
Fact.
How about James? James actually is left-handed.
Yeah, I was thinking about you too, Mars. Just yesterday. Look, I'm watching LeBron. He come down, he passed the ball to his left, and I was like, man, Mars will really be sexy. But then I was like, wait a second. It's people in the NBA that can't pass the ball with their left hand. Oh, this shit is crazy.
You'll be shocked.
The skill set of the NBA is not what we think it is.
I'll be watching these players and I'll be like, I like. Obviously, I've never could dream of playing basketball at a high level, but I'm like, when you were growing up, you ain't think to just be able to go both ways. Like, wouldn't that just benefit you? Like, is that in your best interest?
Is that a thing in soccer and football? Is that a thing?
I mean, it depends. The England player development has been all over the place. It seems to just be if you can run for a long time, you're a good player. But like overseas, like the other European countries that take football seriously, or like Brazil, yeah, you better be able to use both feet. Like, what else would you be doing? What your left foot isn't just a stand on. Like,
he will only need one foot. Who needs two when you got one elite foot?
Now, like it does. I will say, the left-footed players are the ones who tend to be more one-footed. Like that's something that seems to just be a thing. So
kind of like the left-handed players.
Yeah, maybe there is a correlation. Like maybe there is.
Maybe it's just it's some I'm just not hip to. Okay.
All right, so I got a couple more super chats. Leaf Diggy said, Swiper, go get that broom, clean this yellow shit up.
Crazy from a Nets fan.
Brax said, Damo, why do you respect me? Shaq.
That shit that had me crying when he first sent it. That had me crying when he first sent that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Man, I couldn't breathe when he sent that.
Dom about to be Hugh shall not be named part 2. It's tough.
Tito El Bandito said, most calm, let's keep it a buck Damo moment.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, y'all thought that was crazy. that was a light one. That was light.
Wait, you catching Damo at the dinner table around family right now. You ain't catching Damo outside.
This is me with a tie. What?
you ain't. I seen Damo away from the dinner table. So
come on, man.
I want to shout out a few more members before we get up out of here. Trey J23 became a member. Timothy Clemens and K Hitter all became members today. Shout out to them. If you haven't become a member, go ahead and click that membership button. That's somewhere around there. You could chat for $1.99, and it is a higher membership tier where it has a couple more added perks into it as well. Also, subscribe, like the video on the way out. Check out Players Choice merch on that QR code right there, and pull up the playback later tonight to see Chilltown and Big Ox Rob.
Yes, sir. We got a good game going on, and I'm gonna be paying particular attention. I'm paying attention particularly to your offense tonight, Big Ox. What kind of offense are you guys gonna run? How are you gonna be able to slow the Celtics down, and how you gonna guard the long ball line? Because from what I saw last night, I mean, that fourth quarter was what blew the game open. I think they went on like a 25-6 run. The Knicks did in the fourth, and then that was just the end of it. And it wasn't like De'Aaron Fox was playing bad. It was just that the Knicks were playing that good. Josh Hart, he's such a Swiss Army knife, right? He's such a Swiss Army knife that it's pretty impossible to deal with him. Pretty impossible.
Just focus on Joakim Noah being better than Domantas Sabonis. Just focus on that.
All right, y'all. We'll be back on Monday. Hey, y'all know what's going down this weekend. The playoffs are right around the corner, so every game matters right now. Y'all seen when we put up the standings, so it's going to be a lot to focus on this weekend and a lot to talk about come Monday. Y'all make sure y'all have y'all asses here on time. Come Monday.
Y'all support the starving artists. Support content creators, man. Y'all.
Hey, get it how you live it. All right.
Support Open Gym, man.